And again, they open against San Diego and the Dodgers, and everybody's like, well, you're playing two good teams. Well, here come the Phillies. I mean, It's just like one good team after another, obviously.
The pennant race coming up at 12:15. Winners and losers from the March Madness. The winners, Walter Clayton Jr.
100%.
His NBA stock through the roof now.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be a top 10 guy.
And the mop. I mean, you keep that forever, the most outstanding player.
Yep. I would say BYU. You mentioned them earlier, LT. Their run, now they've got Dibatsa coming in as a recruit. I think BYU was a winner in this tournament, making it to the Sweet 16.
Would agree.
I would say in some form or fashion, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. Calipari that season was horrible to start with, got him to the second weekend. Kentucky got to the second weekend.
Well, the
again.
interesting thing, most of these top 25s have Kentucky and Arkansas both in the top 15, but Ole Miss is nowhere to be found.
But Ole Miss getting to a Sweet 16, they've never been to an Elite Eight, so I thought that was a good progression for Chris Beard. And then obviously the Southeastern Conference as a whole.
Well, I was just going to say Auburn. I mean, because, some people will look back to 18, 19, and they'll be like, man, that was a fluke for Auburn to get to their first ever Final Four. When you do it twice in 5 years of a tournament, it's not a fluke.
Yep. Some of the losers, Duke, you have Cooper Flagg for 1 year. And what do you have to show for it? A trip to the Final Four by Duke standards.
The only thing I would say is we were up 14. I mean, you can look at it both ways, but you've got a young coach in John Shire. And to me, Shire and Golden both have the look of coaches that aren't going anywhere.
And I'm afraid we're going to do to Shire what we've done a little bit to DeBoer. Like, well, Nick Saban never would have done that. Lance showed you yesterday Mike Krzyzewski did that.
Yeah.
Like Mike Krzyzewski lost a game like that to Seton Hall.
The ACC as a whole, remember, they only got 4 in. The other 3 lost, was it round 1 or at least the first weekend?
Yep.
So that
I think it was on round 1.
The Big Ten, I mean,
Michigan State, Michigan in the Elite, or Sweet 16 for Michigan, Elite 8 for Michigan State.
But the Big Ten, not their usual.
Yeah, Purdue got knocked out by Houston.
And then Cinderella was a loser.
Yeah, and I don't know
if I missed Cinderella. But
no, Cinderella's a loser. You only had, and I don't know, going into the Final Four, 11 higher seeds beat the lower seeds.
Yeah.
So I think moving forward, Cinderella is non-existent.
You almost had Colorado State in the Sweet 16. That would have been a little bit of a Cinderella. They should have beaten Maryland. Maryland traveled.
But they do have a point guard that is in Nick Clifford. He's going to be a lottery guy. So
we'll get to more Alabama and Auburn spring football tomorrow, as basketball season is now ended, as we're 137 days away from the kickoff of the football season. But the big end-of-the-year spring events are happening on Saturday at Jordan-Hare and Bryant-Denny Stadium. We'll talk more about that tomorrow on the show. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com. Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Do you need some refreshed college wear to represent your team this year? Shop Roback's Game Day collection that includes both Alabama and Auburn. From quarter zips to hoodies, Roback has it all. Get 20% off on us using code TNR20 at roback.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A lot of college football on the show today. We'll get to that. We'll talk a little NFL draft. Did I see somewhere that did I dream this, or did I see that Jalen Milroe accepted an invitation to the NFL draft, that he got invited to the NFL draft?
I don't know if I saw that, but I wouldn't be surprised based on this. I have seen Jalen Milroe now in a lot of mock drafts, early second. I heard this morning people talking about would they be blown away if he snuck into the first round. One said no, one said yes. They want drama. They want somebody to sit there that you sit there and you feel awkwardly bad for. I mean, we've seen every other year there's somebody in the green room that thinks they're going early and they don't go, and they flash them. This could be the moment that Aaron Rodgers goes.
So basically they're treating Jalen Milroe like the NBA Housewives show.
I mean, would you not agree, bro? They need all sides of drama. And if you get a guy like Jalen Milroe there.
Kind of sucks to be on that end of it, but you're right. It does help the TV.
The last quarterback to play for Nick Saban's on the panel. He's talking about what a great guy Jalen is, the upside, maybe the best running quarterback since Lamar Jackson, maybe the best we've had in college in the last 20 years.
Dane Brugler is the first to have reported it, I believe. Source, Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe has accepted an invitation to attend the draft in Green Bay.
Coming up later this month here. That you don't go there unless there's a chance you're going to go in the first round, right?
Oh, there's a chance he's going to go in the first round.
Now, keep in mind, I mean, there are guys they still have there in day two. I mean, they did it last year.
Yeah.
Got day two guys, because keep in mind the way the draft is done now, in case you haven't watched it recently, round one's the only thing you get on the first night. But then day two, they've still got guys that are there doing interviews.
You only get round two on day two.
I also heard this argument this morning.
Maybe two and
I thought it was 2 and 3, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is just hanging out there.
He's not invited to the draft.
No.
It's in Green Bay first off.
But you guys do remember when he got drafted 20 whatever to Green Bay, how awkward that whole situation was. But I heard somebody this morning make the point, and you guys tell me if you agree. And Pittsburgh was the team they were talking about specifically. If you're Pittsburgh, would you rather take a flyer on Aaron Rodgers now at 40+, or would you rather take a flyer on one of these quarterbacks in the first round? Because even if you get it right for a season with Aaron Rodgers, what does that do for the next season or two?
It means you're taking a flyer on the draft next year.
Right. So I kind of get it. Like, I am in the here and now. It's different. Like, I worry about money and my kids' futures and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when it comes to the Rams, I worry about the here and now. I don't really want to plan. I want to plan for the future. I don't want the Rams to plan for the future.
Yeah, I like. You're right. I like Miami to tear it up at free agency more than the draft. I do.
Proven commodities.
Proven commodity. The problem is in free agency, you almost never get a legitimate quarterback. That's the problem with NFL free agency. Like NBA, you can get a star in free agency that you can build your team around. And the NFL, really good quarterbacks never get to free agency.
You said that is changing faster than
when's the last one you can remember?
Tom Brady made it to free agency and won a Super Bowl.
Well, Tom Brady was at the end of his career.
He was 41 or 42.
It took a team that was willing to say we'll go all in for 2 years. I mean, a guy you can build your franchise
in their prime. It is really difficult to
never have their prime. Yes, but
that you can build a franchise around. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, 3 years. How long was he there with the Bucs? 3 years.
But every year was. Is it going to happen again? Is he coming back?
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the difference. But let's not forget that Lamar Jackson, you guys will give me, he's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league probably. He went 32nd overall. So there wasn't like people, he won a Heisman, he won a lot of games, but people weren't saying that he's going to be a franchise quarterback. I'm pulling for Jalen Milroe, and I do think that there is seesaw, 10-15% he goes in the first round.
I don't like this group of quarterbacks if I'm drafting. That's why I might go Aaron Rodgers, or in your case, the Tom Brady type experiment if I could do that.
I do believe there's a very big difference. I just so not everybody's piling on me. There's a big difference, I believe, where Tom Brady was at his career than where Aaron Rodgers was.
Oh, I agree 100%. Tom Brady could still play.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. Now, Aaron Rodgers, we forget the numbers he put up last year. They weren't terrible numbers in New York. It was just a mess of a situation.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about this year's draft class. If the Dolphins were in need of a quarterback high, I don't know which one I'd want. I would want him to take Shunnarah Sanders, but I don't know that that's the guy that I'm 100% certain you can build a franchise around. But you tell me the guy in next year's draft you feel that way about.
Did you guys happen to see Mel Kiper did his first 2 rounds? I think it's his final mock yesterday. Did you guys happen to go through it?
There's no way it's his final mock.
I don't know. We're in draft.
I mean, who are we kidding?
Maybe Bill's got a cruise plan.
Did you guys happen to see it, though?
I did not happen to see it. No.
And you know, the first thing I do is, you always go to your team. You want to see what's projected there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I flipped the switch from basketball gym to football gym last night at 10:50 p.m.
Why 10:50?
Well, because I'd finished everything I was doing the day. Maggie went to bed. I went upstairs in my sports room. I put on my Bose headphones. I turned on our YouTube channel. First, I went to Cover Crimson, and I watched 3 podcasts with Mick Gillespie and Clint Lamb. Clint's on the show later today. By coincidence, Brown didn't know this story. And then I watched 3 button-up podcasts with Kyle Rush at thebarnauburn.com.
How do you have time for sex lives of college girls and golf?
It's in between seasons. I played golf earlier in the day.
Damn, you've got a packed schedule.
I'm trying to stay active, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay
I like
active.
it, Jimmy.
But
I like it.
So I jumped to Kuiper. I jumped to the Rams.
Yeah.
And I love this guy, but I don't want him as my quarterback. But they're like,
Well, pull it up. I want to see it.
Okay, I'll find it.
yeah, you
talk
pull
about
it up. They've got the Rams taking what will be the successor for Matthew Stafford and Jackson Dart. And I like Jackson Dart a lot. I loved him at USC. I wish he never would have left, but I just don't see that guy as a franchise quarterback.
It
Do you
seems
guys?
like I see like our buddy Orlovsky, I think likes him based on Dan's tweets. I haven't watched the videos that Dan sends out with it.
Right.
But based on the language in the tweets, I think Dan has fallen in love
A lot of people have.
with Jackson Dart. And I was going to say, of all the quarterbacks, that feels like the one that has had the best spring.
Yes,
Is
yes.
Jackson Dart.
He's been great in talking season.
Yeah, he's been good in talking season.
And Milroe, probably from where he was at one point in the season to where he is now, has had one of the bigger falls. Because, you know, there was a point after the Georgia game where you could have seen him go number 1 overall.
Oh, it was
I mean,
That's what Rex Ryan was saying.
Yeah, if he would have built on that and continued to get better, he probably would go number 1 overall. But Jackson Dart's one of these guys I pull for. He's fearless. Everybody talks about his ability to throw it on the run. We'll see. I mean, I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great.
I want the next generation of great defender at Tampa Bay. Did you find Kuiper's mock yet?
Well, I got to log in. This is where I find out.
Abdul Carter,
all right,
you guys are going to trade up. You're trading a lot.
This
I
is
didn't say
where
that.
I'm going to ask the question: does my ESPN Plus television package carry over to this ESPN Plus? So I
If
can
you
read
log,
Kuiper?
if you
I
log
don't
in,
know.
it does.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the Disney bundle. Yeah, you're going to give me a minute.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do that in another segment.
Yeah,
'cause I got to
coming
log
up-
all this crap in.
Self-serve Jim's Buccaneer Mel Kiper fetish here in a second. The show brought to you today by a couple of great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Odie's, where what day is it? It's Wednesday.
Oh,
isn't
It
it?
no.
is Wednesday. Brown, you're there, right?
I am there tonight, Lance Taylor.
I'm there tonight, full staff. Will Haver will be there. This is the original location at Crestline. We do this every single Wednesday night. Talked about the funeral I was at a couple of weeks ago. People were like, "You still do Odie's?" It's like, man, it's literally only been 16 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for a long time. A
Is that
lot
when
of
you told
fun.
him, this is not my funeral, guys.
Yeah, right. Come out, join us, get there early, enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Don't forget about the Odie's Famous Cup cocktails, live music every Friday and Saturday. And not only the location we'll be at tonight, the original in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood, right there in Homewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Make sure you stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Lake Fest, man, that event is coming up here pretty soon. We give hand signals up here, and I was giving the old guitar and drinking beer.
That's Lake Fest?
Yeah, I would not have gotten that
Well,
one.
I mean,
Well,
how
Lake
do-
Fest,
how
they're
would-
selling boats.
It's a music festival, isn't it?
Yeah,
no,
it
Lake
is.
Fest
No,
is
it's
a
not.
boat show. There is a live concert.
Well, I mean,
Oh, well.
You could have done the old
promoting the
Hawaii
concert.
5-0 row in
Yeah.
the canoe.
If you'd have done this,
Yeah.
I
he
would
would
have
not have done, no.
He would have known better than playing a guitar at Lake Fest.
Lake Fest, man.
Yeah.
I think of music by the lake.
What if you had acted like you were about to dive off of Chimney Rock? Would that have gotten it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Better than playing guitar.
Better than playing
Okay.
guitar and drinking a beer.
I mean, I thought
That's
this
Friday
was my
night.
hand singing for Lake
If
Fest.
that was charades at one of your dinner clubs or supper clubs,
Yeah.
Maggie would cuss you
well,
like a
we've
dog.
gone through this before. Michelson,
That's Michael
Dr. B.
Dr. B.
Okay, those are
You
easy.
just do them, and I'll tell you what they are. Go.
No, we've done this before on the
What
show.
is my
wait.
bookie?
My bookie is money.
That's right.
Money.
Uh-huh.
Way to wellness is.
Yeah.
What is UCA?
Don't forget UCA.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's your one for UCA,
Everybody
Jim?
wants to
I always
UCA.
have to go.
See, Forrester and Tyler for sure won't remember this. But Forrester might have listened in the old Jocks days, but we had an advertiser called Vitalman. Do you remember Vitalman?
I remember Vitalman.
It was my account. I've had a couple of accounts in my life, and I've tried to get numb to this the older I get. When you lose the biggest account on a station or a property, you're like, oh, I'm never going to recover from this. It's
going to happen. Yeah.
It's like Tiger King when his employee lost the arm, Scott.
I'll never financially recover.
Never. But Vitalman, they used to spend a shit ton of money with us, and it was the, hey, if your wood's gone soft, go to the wood yard and get a new piece.
I remember that.
I mean, it was crazy copy, especially back. And Tyler, you look at it. This is in the early 2000s, so over 2 decades ago, we were doing copy like that.
And I would do this one for that one.
And they didn't care who it was. Hey, you got a personality on there. If he's a man, we want him endorsing our product.
Vitalman. Is Vitalman still in business? Did you keep them in business? Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd call him, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's no telling how many people have passed that have used Vitalman before.
Sure, yeah, but they passed with a smile on their face.
I am going to check that out.
Lake Fest is coming to the Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is the 15th annual edition of Lake Fest, presented by AM First, May 9 through 11. It is free to the public. It is Alabama's biggest in-water boat show. 80 boats and vehicles on display. Lake lifestyle vendors, food truck, beer garden done away. They got beer there. Jim, they got.
I told you, and music,
and live music all weekend. And live music all weekend. Tons of giveaways. Fireworks show Friday night, honoring our United States veterans, as it is the month of Veterans Day. The month of Memorial Day. Mermaids and Mateys Parade on Saturday. Free mimosas for mom on Sunday. It is also the month of Mother's Day. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. And in the first time in the history of Lake Fest, AmFirst offering a 0.5% off interest rates that could save you $100 a month and up to $12,000 over the life of the loan. Go find out more at LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
You think if they were selling mermaids, they'd sell a lot of them?
I'll take that one right.
Can you put the graphic up again real quick?
The Lake Fest?
By the way, Vitalman is still out there.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Good
Very good.
There'll be a call this afternoon.
I just want to make a point. Lake Fest and Boat Show, Brown. Boat Show is after the end. Lake Fest is first.
Okay.
That's music and fun.
That's right.
Lake Fest.
Okay.
Okay, festival.
I'll let the Lake Fest people know.
Okay. Well, since Brown's in that kind of mood,
what kind of mood am I in?
I'm just saying.
I'm in a fun mood.
No, I know. So I wanted to have a little fun with you today.
Oh, wow.
I love you guys.
So here we go. We'll put my glasses on. Tomorrow starts the what? What happens tomorrow?
List season according to people. I don't know.
No, it's the Masters.
The Masters.
Yeah.
Boy,
and we will have coverage brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. 4 great locations.
Leaderboard
VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Yeah.
Okay. We all know they call the fans what?
The patrons.
Patrons. Okay. There are 2 others that I wanted. Oh, there are 3 others.
3 what? 3 phrases,
terms,
that only Augusta National uses on TV. Okay?
By the way, I put my picks in, Brown. I'm going to show them to you.
What do they call the driving range?
The practice area.
Tournament practice facility.
Tournament practice facility. Okay.
Yes. Tournament practice facility.
The old TPF. I'm heading over to the TPF.
People like Lance and I.
Right.
We call it the back 9.
Right.
What do they call it at Augusta National?
At Augusta, it's the first 9 and the second 9.
The first 9 and the second 9.
You like my 4?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
First 9 and second 9.
Uh-huh.
And, heathens like Lance and I would call it the rough. What do they call it at Augusta?
Second cut.
Yeah. There's a first cut.
There's a first cut and a second cut. Yeah, depending on which, how they have it.
So does that get you, if you're part of the broadcast team, if you use the old terminology, does that get you beat?
You cannot call it the rough.
You can't ask
him.
See
who my alternate is?
Oh, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You can't ask him because I believe he has passed, Jim McKay. But Jim McKay was kindly asked to leave the broadcast after calling the patrons a mob. Oh, look at the mob coming up the 18th.
Yeah.
And they were like, that'll be your last master,
No,
sir.
they did not.
100%.
The great Jim McKay.
Gary McCord. Do you remember Gary McCord? That it was PGA Tour golfer, and he was like the face of the CBS telecast. He once said, I think in the same Masters, the pin placement on 14 is so tough they got body bags stacked up behind the green. And then said the greens are so fast like they use bikini wax on them, and that was his last Masters.
Wow.
So if Van Pelt threw his foot up on the desk and pulled his shoe off to itch it, would he be gone?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
They've relaxed it a little bit. This was further back in the day.
Way too uppity.
So we'll never see McAfee on the broadcast.
I say
So they
that-
were cool with somebody being drowned in Rays Creek.
Well, that was an unfortunate situation.
We'll get past that, but do not use body bags.
I don't know. They did College Game Day from there. So, I don't think McAfee would ever do his show from there, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I could not see.
Well, McAfee's McAfee. You get full McAfee.
Yeah, I don't think that black wife beater and the gold chain's not going to work.
Yeah.
What's that thing walking down?
There's tons of Georgia fans there. They'd jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it goes tomorrow. Brownie wanted us to make our picks and underdogs if you're in an office pool. I don't know if Lance wants to give his out because he's in a competitive situation. I don't have a problem giving you mine. I've gotten away from Minwoo Lee a little bit to Colin Morikawa is who I'm going to pick to win it. And my underdog dark horse pick is going to be Patrick Reed, the most hated man in golf.
My gosh, so far off the radar. What is it? You want odds on these?
Yeah, I think Patrick Reed's 60-1. I looked at all the
that's
odds
an underdog,
yesterday.
right? 60-1?
Yeah, definitely.
How deep do I have to go to get an
I'm
underdog?
going to tell you right now. I'll tell you who I'm going to play to win it. I am going to take Rory McIlroy to win his first green jacket.
35-year-old Rory McIlroy who needs to win the Masters.
I just still can't
to get the career
That's right.
Grand Slam.
I just still can't get over the fact that he hasn't won a Master or hasn't won a major in 11 years.
Lance, I have been burned so many times at Augusta by this guy, and I'm
know.
not going to pick him, so it's probably a good time. Rory is plus 610, so what, 6-1?
Yeah,
That's
6-1.
right?
He is your shortest favorite outside of Scheffler.
Is that
and
a
everybody's going to have Scheffler.
Is that at mybookie.ag?
It
Brandon?
is. Dunaway, I'm digging deep to find your boy Patrick Reed. You picked him as a dark horse, right?
That's right. So
Okay.
I had him at 90-1.
Does he still wear the choker?
I don't think so. I think he's
they're
moved on
coming
from that.
back.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Were they ever in?
No,
Let
in
me ask you this.
baseball. Remember early 2000s, everybody had that rope necklace if you played baseball or if you wanted
I
to be
do
cool.
remember that, yeah.
It was sort of rope, but it had some kind of metal in it that was supposed to help you with your balance and your blood flow and everything like that. Those are coming back in baseball.
Okay.
Because the kids who are playing baseball now were really, really little kids then, and they were like, one day when I play baseball,
I'm going to bring that back.
Yeah,
I got it right here. It's the fighting necklace.
Yeah.
This was
Fightin'?
the big trend when I was in, I guess, elementary to middle school. This was the cool thing to have.
Did you have
and
one?
those people are in the big leagues now, and they're bringing them back, all the early 20s.
I did not have one. I didn't really see a point in
I mean,
having
I'd
it.
rather get the spray tan than have to wear that for a week.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You're gonna be surprised what I ordered on Amazon last night.
You tell
Oh,
me
I
that.
don't think you're in charge of it.
Second week of July. Let's circle back to that statement right there. I'd rather get the spray tan, have to wear that for a week.
And trust me, I will be as dark as you can possibly be by the time I get the spray tan.
Patrick Reed 62-1, Jim.
See, that's
I
a
was
dark horse.
close at 60-1.
My pick to win is kind of between dark horse and favorite. I don't think you would call 33-1 a dark
You
horse.
gave me no reaction on Colin Morikawa.
Oh, I like Morikawa.
Can
Yeah,
he win there?
plays well there.
What's he, about 18-1?
The key stat, Morikawa is 13 plus 13.25, so
Yeah.
13-1. Shade over 13-1. The key stat to winning at Augusta is basically what they now call on the PGA Tour strokes gained on approach. It's an analytic of how good you are from the fairway to the green.
Oh, yeah.
It's an approach.
That's where I lose all my
It's a
shots.
second shot course, yeah.
That's where I lose all my shots
So
on any
that's
course.
and Colin Morikawa is one of the best in the world at that. So yeah, that's a good pick.
Did Emily Grace go over again?
She did not.
No. She's more of a players championship person.
My pick to win is Shane Lowry. I got Shane Lowry.
Wow.
Yeah, now it's 33-1. So
The
that's,
hefty righty.
That's going to be a big jacket.
that is a big. That's about what you think about a 46 long for that one. Shane Lowry is my pick at 33-1. If I wanted a dark horse,
Oh, you don't need one. That's fine.
that's dark horse enough.
I mean,
okay.
more than 30-1, yeah.
All right, there you go, Shane
But
Lowry.
who's your darker horse?
My dark horse would be 62-1 Vestavia Hills resident Sepp Straka.
He had a run there a few years ago, right?
Yeah, Sepp can play.
Yep. What about you? Oh, you competitive balance here.
Well, you gave out Rory.
Lance is doing the broadcast. So.
Yeah, I'm doing the broadcast. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
It would be his last one. I'm going to tell you with this
Hey,
guy.
what about if Van Pelt wore that necklace?
I think he can get away with that. Now, as,
give me that necklace back. Jim rolling around with that all summer long.
Oh, I think you should.
I mean, would that
Dude,
not?
I think that would be a look for you.
Would that not get the men who are off the oil rigs at the Floribama when we're down there this year walking up to me again?
I don't think Maggie's going to let you leave the house for that thing.
I mean, I've dropped 30 pounds since the oil rig guy hit on me at the Floribama. You don't think losing 30 pounds, tightening my shave up on my head, and wearing that metal necklace would just have the guys off the oil rig flocking to me?
Yeah, if you were wearing that.
You're just some stringy hair away from the crypt keeper after that.
I saw a rather interesting scene in White Lotus last night along those lines, and I think if you were wearing that.
What episode?
That's number 4. I think it's
season 1.
Yeah, season 1.
Yeah.
We had a little incident in the office. Somebody walked in on.
That's would that be an HR violation?
I think that's going to end the game for most people. Yeah,
That salad's off menu, by the way.
absolutely. Yeah. Hey, as Zach points out on Augusta, they did let Dude Perfect come out there and do some videos.
No, they did not.
But not during the Masters
No,
week.
gosh, no. But that is a huge departure from where they used to be. I agree. It used to be like super, super stuffy, and there's still some of that stuffiness that is there, but they have come way off that over the years.
So do you think they'll ever, like Floribama does, bulls on the beach? Can they do bulls on the back nine?
They'll do bulls on the back
It's
nine.
not the back nines. It's not the Bulls. It's the
I've already
problem. It's
been
the
fired.
second nine.
It's a true
Bulls on the second nine.
It's a true amen corner when you do bulls on the back nine.
That's odds from our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag, Brown.
Yeah, if you want to play the Masters, Major League Baseball, whatever the case might be, mybookie.ag. Code next round at mybookie.ag. Code next round, and you can play all the games right there. Braves taking on the Phillies. They're a little bit of a favorite tonight. When was the last time you've gotten the Braves as a favorite?
Yeah.
Taking on the Phillies tonight. They're a favorite. You play it right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round. Mybookie.ag. Code next round. Masters as well. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. You use code next round. You get a 50% sign-on bonus up to $1,000. And a $10 casino chip for your fun there in the casino and the live casino at mybookie.ag. Code next round.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, they can help you guys stay on top of your health. Everything from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. It's our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. Again, 16 locations that you can find one that is close and convenient for you. Just go online to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, 205-930-0920, Urology Centers of Alabama. Great folks there. We appreciate everything they do to keep us on top of our health there. This is a news alert for Alabama's Nate Oats, Florida's Todd Golden. Who else is in the SEC that is perceived to be a future NBA coach at some point?
You might have hit the two big ones, Todd Golden and Nate Oats.
I don't think Chris Beard is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jans isn't.
this sounds insane right now to say this. But if he had tremendous success at Texas A&M, I could see Bucky.
Okay.
If he had that kind of success at A&M.
If you're still a youngish,
it's insane. It's insane right now.
If you're Mark Pope runs this off. If you're still a youngish college coach with uber success and you play an NBA style and you may be lured someday to the NBA, please listen. And I'm talking specifically to you, Nate Oats. Why in the hell would you want to go coach in the NBA? Because yesterday they fired Michael Malone, who just won the NBA championship in 2023, LT, with the Nuggets. And by the way, last time I checked, the Nuggets are not the Lakers or the Celtics. They're the Nuggets. They won an NBA championship in 2023. What year is this? This is 2025, and they fired him. They're fourth in the playoff race right now.
Man, I have heard so many different theories on this.
Well, he wasn't getting along with the GM. They fired both of them yesterday. The owner got tired of all the griping.
Well, Calvin Booth, the general manager, I don't think there was any surprise there. Look, the Cronkies, who own the Rams as well, they own the Arsenal. They own a lot of different products around the world. I mean, they're just going to do it their way. I'll tell you, man, like if I'm a guy like Sean McVay, like, man, I can get into the broadcasting booth at $15, $20 million a year. And Mike Malone won a championship, and within 2 years, he's fired. And by the way, they were in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals last year against the T-Wolves. So it wasn't like they were bad last year. Nikola Jokic, who's arguably the best player in the league, he's only played for one coach. That's Mike Malone.
But see, that's it, LT, is that they perceive these coaches, I believe, as
just empty
disposable.
suits.
Yeah.
Well, disposable. Like,
They're
who
disposable.
can't coach Jokic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're
It's
saying.
about Jokic. Now,
Yeah.
Jokic had nothing to do with this. Apparently,
No, I
it was
think
all the
Jokic-
infighting. They didn't even tell him before. It just happened so quick. Like Kroenke apparently
and
just got
I
so
heard-
mad of his phone blowing up.
And this is what's crazy. The fear was Denver, if they make a deep run, we can't do anything with Mike Malone. You can because you're the owner.
Right.
And don't you want a deep run?
That's right. That's right.
Like, okay, so we're going to fire him to avoid the deep run?
Yeah, really.
Here's my
That does sound stupid, doesn't it?
Here's my point to Nate Oats, if you're still listening, Coach. Mike Budenholzer, Frank Vogel, Nick Nurse. What do they have in common?
They all won championships and they're all out of a job. Or
They all won
They're not the
championships.
coach of those current Toronto Lakers. And who was the first one you said before? Nurse and
Budenholzer.
Budenholzer.
yeah, with the Bucks.
Okay, yeah. Bucks World Championship in 2021.
All right.
Already fired. Vogel World Championship with the Lakers in 2020. Already fired. Nick Nurse with World Championship with the Raptors. With the Raptors.
Kawhi was so good in those,
He was.
those
Yeah.
playoffs.
And already fired. That was just 2019. These guys won the Raptors. If he won one championship with the Raptors, he should be the coach there forever.
Build the statue,
They
right?
should name this the
I mean, it really would take
Arena?
right
yeah,
now
Nurse Court.
3 or 4 consecutive 2021 seasons, one and done in the NCAA to get fired.
Yeah.
For a guy like Nate Oats.
Oh, yeah. Nate Oats or Bruce Pearl or Todd Golden now.
But there's always been more job security at the college level. It's gotten less.
Like, if Todd Golden missed the next 4 tournaments, would he be fired?
Yes. Yes.
Sadly, he would.
3?
3, yes.
Sadly, he
So
would.
3 straight tournaments and
Yeah.
he'd get fired after winning a national championship.
He would.
2?
He
No.
could miss 2.
If he could miss the next 2, and then that third
But
year he's
then
on
we'd
the
be
hot
talking,
seat.
man, this guy, he won a national championship. He's missed 2 straight.
Yeah, what is he without Walter Clayton Jr.?
Yeah. I was,
Yeah, I mean,
I was
they
just
would
trying
look
to
for something
gauge.
like
I
that.
was just trying to gauge, you know,
Yeah.
what it would take.
Yeah.
But to your point, these guys aren't missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like Nick Nurse and Mike Budenholzer and Frank Vogel
No.
didn't start missing the playoffs. They were still making the playoffs.
I mean, just don't. I mean, this NBA thing. I mean, how much money can you make in college now?
You can make more.
Yeah.
More than
Yeah,
the
I mean-
top college coaches are making more than the top NBA guys.
Who do you think the highest paid NBA coach is?
Well, it was Pop. At this particular point, it probably is Steve Kerr.
Boy, he's been there a long time. He's probably making more than your top college coach.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, look, I think your top 5 are probably
Yeah.
making more, but everybody else, when it kind of it's like major league managers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no,
Tony
those
Vitello
guys,
is
yeah.
making
He's
of
making
the 30 managers. Tony Vitello is making more than 25 of them.
Yeah, I know. And he's coaching college ball.
But how
Yeah.
about Dave Roberts? I mean, that's pretty.
Well, he's
sweet.
making a lot, but
Yeah,
he wasn't.
$8 million a year, and guaranteed through 2029 at $8 million a year to coach an all-star team every
Yeah,
night.
That's pretty good if
That's
you
a
can get
sweet
it.
gig.
I'm
hey,
with you,
whose
though.
arm's healthy today?
Yeah.
You got it, my man. You got it, Yamamoto. You got it, Suwasaki. Otani.
I'm with you, though, on coach of the NBA. Like, most of the time, what job did Patino get when he left?
He got the Celtics or Knicks.
He had bad Celtics.
Bad Celtics.
Yeah.
When Calipari left, he got the Nets.
Nets.
Yeah. Bad Nets.
Bad Nets. I'm trying to think. When Donovan left, he got the Thunder?
Bulls.
Bulls.
Yeah. Bad Bulls.
Bad Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Dan Hurley flirted with the Lakers, met with everyone. I think it was
about
just
this time
more,
last year.
I think it was more to feed his ego.
Yeah.
There was no way he was going to leave his current situation for the Lakers.
It was about this time last year after
Now,
the Final Four.
my point in bringing that up is how bad a job you normally get. This Denver job, on the surface, is a really good job to have. I know I say that after a guy that was just in the Western Conference Finals got fired, so it's a kind of hard
Well,
sell.
you say it's a good job.
As long as you have who?
Jokic.
I mean, look, outside of him, though, like Jamal Murray's a good player, but when he's not on the court, I mean, they're not a postseason
Is
team. They don't
Jokic
even
is he a free agent soon? I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm going to have him for a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
think he's locked in for a while.
Unless the crazy owner comes in and trades him,
Yeah,
like
but-
he just did.
Like the Mavericks guy
Like the
did.
Mavericks just did, yeah.
I would tell you, though, isn't that the guy that talks about going back to his farm in Europe? That he's going to stop playing
The
pretty
Mavericks
soon?
guy?
No,
Or,
Jokic.
Was he the one that was upset about the
I mean, he's 30 years old now.
he was upset about the parade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the parade.
Parade. I want to go back to
I
my
won't go
farm.
home.
Hey, was that a steal in 2014? Picked 41st,
Are you
41
serious?
of the second round.
Not even guaranteed money.
He's averaging right now, averaging 13 and 10 assists and shooting 58% from the floor. As a legit 6'11", 285, 5. They can do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I'd say.
Now, we got to get him out of a communist country, probably. Yeah.
Well, we need him living here in the U.S.
Yeah, but we'll take a shot.
We want his tax
He
dollars.
can become a citizen. Yeah, I think we do want his tax dollars.
Yeah. All right, so that's my cautionary tale to those that want to leave the great college basketball game and go to the NBA. It has turned into a what have you done for me lately, or don't gripe about your situation league, and stay where you are in college. It works out good. College basketball's never been healthier. When we come back, we will do our spotlight today. I got a college football list that a couple of coaches you're familiar with have made, and maybe not in a good light. Show today being brought to you a couple of our wonderful sponsors. One of them, our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT, tell us about New York Butcher.
Just a great place to pick up dinner on your way home. You can pick up a couple of steaks, pick up some of the great ribs, the chicken, fantastic side items from the baked beans made in-house right there, the goat cheese mashed potatoes that I absolutely love, fantastic selection of desserts. When I did the steaks for the boys, I picked up a piece of their chocolate cake, piece of their New York-style cheesecake, and a piece of the peanut butter pie. Just had one of each. Fantastic desserts, great selection of fine wines as well. Stop in, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
It is also the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR. It is the Talladega Super Speedway, and they're ready to put on another amazing show in April. If you have never been to the Talladega Super Speedway, now is the time to go. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every turn. Do not miss the Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 25th through 27th. Get your tickets now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Birmingham's fastest party returns to Barber Motorsports Park May 2nd through 4th. Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst. Experience 3 days of high-speed action featuring the fastest drivers in the world from the IndyCar Series. Enjoy the Kids Zone, food trucks, beer garden, Ferris wheel, fan zone, and more. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now.
Celebrate the best time of year, tournament time, with MyBookie.ag. Sign up right now with code NEXTROUND and receive a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip. Tournament time is here, so enjoy it even more by playing along at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND on your initial deposit for a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip. Don't get caught by the buzzer. Sign up now at MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
The biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway is ready to put on another amazing show in April. If you've never been to this track, you've got to come check it out. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every turn. Don't miss the Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. It's April 25th through the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. That's TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new Chicken and Bowberry Waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a Bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try Chicken and Bowberry Waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
All right, back with you on the next round. The A-Day events, practices are happening this weekend in Tuscaloosa and Auburn. Yeah, I've been, as I said, I've been in this basketball world, so now that I'm in this football world, is there buzz for this? Let me know in the chat room. Who's going?
Well, I don't think you know what you're getting when you go. I think that's why fewer people are going.
Well, I think you're getting, I don't know if fewer people are going yet. I don't know what the buzz is.
I will guarantee you fewer people are there than year over year.
I think Auburn is.
I don't remember the weather last year.
I think Auburn's a hard hour of practice. And it was basically their enhanced practices. Is what they are. You get to see what practices really look like.
I think the more and the more coaches shit on the spring games, I think the less turnout you're going to get from fans, right? Like, these coaches aren't into it. We're really not going to see much. They don't want to show much.
Well, it's not games. I mean, they've already said it's not games. So it's practice. What are we talking about?
I can't look
Can we not finish the old Allen Iverson?
What?
When I said, it's practice. What are we talking about? I was wanting an impersonation from you.
I don't know if I do that. Practice? We talking about practice? Not a game. Practice.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Of all your impersonations.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Scott Cochran at the top. He approved it.
Yeah, Scott Cochran's good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Scott Cochran's the ceiling. The floor is people of Gotham.
It's the same line, too. How you remember that line is pretty good.
Pittsburgh. It doesn't even say that.
It's not a line.
I know, it's not the line at all. It's just clearly there at Heinz Field.
And it's Gotham. Yeah, it's just Pittsburgh. It's the Steeler colors, right?
It's at Heinz Field. They're wearing Steelers colors, and it looks like Heinz Ward running. I don't know if that's who it actually is.
It is.
It is at 100% Heinz Ward?
Yep.
Okay. I've always just assumed Heinz Ward was out running the field opening up.
So as a guy who's never seen the movie, it is not Pittsburgh. That is not the
No,
line.
it's Gotham.
No, it's Gotham.
But they're 100% in Pittsburgh. It's clearly
so when I
he
say
always says people of Gotham City.
Yeah.
So when I say people of Gotham, I'm actually
of
correct.
Pittsburgh.
He's wrong, and
Right.
I've never
That
seen
is
the
right.
movie.
That is correct.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. I don't remember much about it.
I mean, Christopher Nolan been cut.
We're not in
Where'd you
Pittsburgh.
get Pittsburgh from?
I ate at Permante's at lunch. We're in Pittsburgh.
We are in Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
it's not the line. Read your line.
Right.
Read about our friends at Bojangles before we do the spotlight.
Okay. I was also making a point. What point was I making?
You were not making a point. We were talking about bad impersonations.
Bojangles Bites, the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you are on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from the 6 dipping sauces, one for every craving. The creamy house-made ranch, the sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you are in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, craveable Bo Bites. It's Bo time.
All right, and our sound of the day brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team ready to help you jumpstart your weight loss. You can do that by just going to this website at planforme.com, planforme.com. Right there, you'll find out ways that you can get healthier, control some blood pressure, cholesterol numbers, and also drop some weight. That helps you so many different ways. It's worked for me for years. It can work for you too. Just go to planforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation consultation with Leslie and her team, absolutely free. Injection therapies, meal replacements, the protein bars that I use there, absolutely wonderful. It's a planforme.com, way to wellness, your journey to healthy living. Caleb Odom, you remember him?
I do.
Big signee for Alabama. Now hit the portal.
Never could get on the field.
Could not get on the field. He's now at Ole Miss. Their spring going on from Ole Miss Sports. This is Caleb Odom getting asked, hey, man, why'd you leave Alabama and come here to Ole Miss?
What made Ole Miss the right fit for you in the transfer portal?
Yeah, I think ultimately I just wanted to be somewhere where I felt, wanted and needed and felt comfortable. And so obviously having a relationship with Ole Miss out of high school, them being my second choice, it made sense for me to, come back up here and really just get to know Coach McDonald and, get back up here to see Coach Kiffin and really just talk to them. So, yeah, that made it easier.
Couldn't get on the field in Tuscaloosa. Now he's at Ole Miss. They needed to rebuild that receiving room. He has potential to break out this year.
Wouldn't you love the honesty?
Yeah.
Why Ole Miss? Well, I couldn't get on the field there.
Yeah. Well.
And I've got a petty coach that really, really likes to take shots at everybody in Tuscaloosa.
The petty coach is in Oxford.
Oxford. Yeah. I'm interested. They could have used another receiver last year, right?
You would have thought.
So he would obviously had an opportunity to work his way on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I
get Ryan Williams, you have Bernard.
Yeah, outside of Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams, I mean, who was that third?
Yeah, you were looking. You were always looking for that other weapon.
There were times it was Kobe Prentice. I mean, who finished third in receiving for Alabama last year? If I had a gun to your head, you had to answer that.
Gun to head, I would say.
It's going to be. I'm going to say tight end. I'm going to say Oats.
Oots?
Yeah.
Why you say it like,
I would say
like we're in Canada?
The Dupree probably had more than that, right?
Yeah. CJ Dupree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun to head, I would have guessed.
It was one of the tight ends for me.
I would have guessed Prentice. I would have been incorrect. He finished sixth. Ryan Williams had 865 receiving yards. Jeremy Bernard, 794. CJ Dupree, 256. 21 catches got you third.
Not a lot.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, big gap.
I mean, Dane Cuevas, who was a backup tight end. My backup's kind of
maybe a tight end.
He wasn't your main guy, but he was fourth in receiving. Jam Miller was fifth out of the backfield.
That offense, I mean, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things,
was not great.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess at times.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. And I mean, it started with obviously a guy that we talked about in the first segment, Jalen Milroe.
Well, there were times it was not a mess, though.
No, that's what it was so baffling.
I know. Wisconsin, in that first half against Wisconsin.
Oh, the Georgia, the LSU.
Georgia first half, LSU entire game. I mean, there were times it was a thing of beauty.
We'll talk to Clint Lamb coming up at 10:30 Central, mid part of hour number 2 today from covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com. He'll join us to talk about how that offense is going to be better this upcoming year and why it should be better.
Big question mark there.
That's coming up. But right now, let's do the Spotlight. Tyler, hit the button for us.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is presented by our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, the Shunnarah Spotlight. That's a national firm with southern roots, headquartered in Birmingham, more than 24 years. The firm has grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. Their trial lawyers have recovered more than $2 billion by maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case.
This is the list season, and On3 Sports put out a list of 10 coaches who sort of have to prove it. They got something to prove this year, and I wanted y'all's reaction to these coaches who have something to prove this year. There it is.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I
did not see it.
That was a quick look for those of you that are watching on the video platform.
A little peek.
Give me one guy you would bet a pinky on, Brownie, that is on this list from On3 Sports of somebody who's got something to prove in college football. Coach.
I mean, he's proven some stuff in his career already, but at his current stop, I would say Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley, something to prove. Give me one guy you would bet a pinky that is on
this Mike
list.
Malone won a championship in 23. He was fired. Kalen DeBoer played for a championship in the season of 23. And now, because he only won 9 games.
You think Kalen DeBoer of Alabama is on this list?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right, Lance Taylor. Show me the list. Kalen DeBoer is 6, right in the middle of the pack
There's
on this
Lincoln
list.
Riley.
I'm high, man. I got number 3.
Hey, I love Billy Napier. Finally, he navigated the most difficult schedule in the history of college football.
Saved his skin.
Yeah. Ari Wasserman writes this on 3 Sports. Here we go. Billy Napier 1, Hugh Freeze Auburn 2. Reaction to this in a second. Lincoln Riley 3, Brent Venables 4, Luke Fickle 5, DeBoer is 6, Mike Norvell of Florida State is 7th, Dabo freaking Sweeney is 8th, James freaking Franklin is 9, and Brian freaking Kelly is 10.
I didn't know they all had the same middle name.
It was a special year back then.
Okay.
Billy Napier. Now this coaches with most to prove in 2025 is how Ari lists this. So it's not a hot seat necessarily. Napier is obvious, I guess, but actually Freeze is more obvious than Napier now because Napier sort of proved me something last year,
but
right?
you've got Lagway at quarterback, and the way they close the season, there's going to be an expectation. I mean, Florida's not about winning 8 games, right? I mean, you just had a basketball coach in year 3 win a national championship, which is going to put more pressure on Napier. I mean, if you can do it in basketball, why can't you do it in football?
Now, Napier was in San Antonio. Do you think at any point,
Todd Golden recognizes
as they walked out onto the Riverwalk and all, do you think one Florida fan between the confetti following and on the way back to Gainesville, one Florida fan says, "You got to win yours now." Hey, it's your turn now, Coach.
He got so tired of hearing that.
Yeah, but the big man on campus is Todd Golden.
Oh, yeah.
And
But
you know
you
what
gotta
happens
win
on
yours
these
now.
lists? Like Ari probably got to 7 with I've got to have Norvell, I got to have DeBoer in here. I was only going to do a list of 5, but I've got to make it 10. So then you start stretching a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see an angle to all these guys.
I could. Can I say with Napier to further highlight the job he's done at Florida, which is not great? He was at the national championship game and they didn't even show him. Like, I didn't know he was there until you told me he was in San Antonio. I
So
assume
really, he never made the broadcast?
Did you see him on the
Never,
broadcast?
not one time.
Now, would Urban Meyer have been on there?
Urban Meyer would
Steve
have.
Spurrier have been on there?
Yeah, but you're talking about historic coaches. Now, the other side of that was, what other coaches would be shown? If Carolina was playing and Belichick was there, Mac Brown would have been shown.
Nah, probably not Mac Brown. Certainly Bill Belichick.
So, I don't know other schools that you would have had a head coach that would have been shown.
Yeah, I mean, if Ohio State had gotten there, they show Ryan Day.
Yeah, but Belichick would have been shown if he was just there, not even the coach at North Carolina.
Well,
Probably
because
Saban would have been shown just
because
for
they're
being
iconic.
there. Yeah.
I'm just
but
saying,
those
though,
Florida coaches are. I mean, Urban Meyer. Say what you want. He won a championship at 2 schools.
No, he would have been
he's
shown.
iconic too. He's been shown. I think whether
Spurrier.
Yeah. I mean, my point is the Florida coach should be recognizable enough. If they had shown Billy Napier, nobody would have known who that is.
Let me ask you guys this. If Ole Miss, just because I'm looking at Caleb still up on our screen in studio, if Chris Beard would have made a magical run like he did at Texas Tech in 18-19 and they played for the national championship, do you think Lane Kiffin is shown? And Lane Kiffin, the reason I bring him up is because a lot of people in media – I think we have fun with Lane a little bit.
That's right.
It's interesting he's not on this list. Something to prove, too.
And he should be.
I mean, there's probably – I would put him in front of some of these guys.
I'd put him in front of James Franklin, just the simple fact that Franklin got to a playoff and won a game.
I'd put him in front of Dabo. Dabo, say what you want. He was back in the playoffs this year.
Right, yeah. He won the ACC.
Sneaky good this year. That Clemson team, sneaky good.
I mean, I get Brian Kelly being on there. I get Norvell being on there. I get DeBoer. But I would probably have Lane Kiffin in there.
Yeah, I would have Lane Kiffin for sure.
Yeah.
And again, Lane Kiffin, he's a victim kind of his own success. Yeah. You get him to 10, 11 wins, and you get to a 12-team playoff, and you can't actually find a way there.
He's also a victim of his own hype machine.
Oh, he is. Yeah. If he wasn't as busy on social media as he is, and I guess the way he navigates social media, it would be a little bit different.
There are different levels of more to prove. Like, for instance, let's take Hugh Freeze at number 2. And let's take Lincoln Riley at number 3. Have Freeze and Riley proven to you that they can coach at a high-level school?
Riley, 100%.
So Freeze, what he did at Ole Miss did not prove that to you. He didn't
I
do
don't
enough?
know. Like, I think he did, but I think Riley obviously has accomplished so much more than Freeze.
I agree 100% on that.
I think Ole Miss is at a different level now.
They are. That is true.
Because of Hugh Freeze.
Well, and because of the way the game works now.
Yeah, but Hugh Freeze took them from whatever level they were on to a new level.
Let me ask you this, Dunway. Do you think?
And now Lane Kiffin's at a different level.
But
I agree. So I don't think Hugh has proved he can do it yet.
I remember us at the Rusty Nail after Alabama lost in 2014 to Ohio State, and Ole Miss and Hugh Freeze went out and beat the hell out of TCU. It was like a body bag game.
It was
Remember,
a Peach
it was
Bowl, I think,
Peach
right?
Bowl, but they were a top 10 team that year. Like that, the best of Hugh Freeze's Ole Miss could. I mean, I think it's kind of right there as a picket with the best of Lane Kiffin's. Do you guys not agree? Like the best team?
Yeah. That
like I really can't see a difference.
That year
that was a New Year's Six Bowl.
Yeah, that year they should have played in Atlanta. That team was really, really good, and he had a couple of good teams. Yeah,
I'm just saying it's not much different.
Yeah, that were as good. I'm just saying
there's more of an expectation.
That's my point. Is that when Hugh did it at Ole Miss, there wasn't the pressure of expectation. He sort of was still able to be the good old underdog.
I'm just saying.
Now there's some expectation for what Lane and Ole Miss want and expect.
I'm just saying Lincoln Riley has proven he can coach at a big school. We've seen it at Oklahoma. Freeze may or may not have, depending on how you rate the Ole Miss. Napier has not. We don't know if Napier can coach.
No.
I mean, his wins are at Lafayette. Or at Louisiana. They don't call it Lafayette. They call it Louisiana. His wins are at Louisiana, and those are good records at Louisiana. But college football is littered with guys that won at a smaller program and got a big job and couldn't cut it.
Yeah.
So we don't know that about Napier yet.
And it is interesting because I guess we pick and choose what we want to say about certain coaches because like yesterday when you asked Stephen Pearl about Bucky McMillan, he was like, there's no reason to believe he's not going to win. He's won everywhere he's been.
Right.
But he hasn't coached at a major level yet.
But Hugh's won everywhere he's been, to your point.
He has.
Yeah. Venables, still his first head coaching job, and it's not going great.
Like if you had to tell me 3 for sure guys that will not make it on that list.
I think I would start with Venables.
I think I would start with Venables, Fickle, and then I think I would go Mike Norvell.
Wow.
I think I really would, or Billy Napier. I've seen Hugh do it. I don't know if it's going to happen at Auburn. I think it will. Like Lincoln Riley's too good of a coach.
I think Venables is the only one I give up on right now.
You don't give up on Fickle?
I don't.
Boy, I tell you, I'm close to.
I mean,
I do
it's
give
a big
up on
year,
Venables.
obviously.
Yeah, that Wisconsin program was dialed in 10 wins a year.
Yeah. The chat room, Brownie, anybody reacting to that list
Well,
there?
just real quick, let's clean up some dead wood. We remember 2 different games. We were at the Rusty Nail. TCU was walking Ole Miss off the field. You were thinking about the next year when they were in the Sugar Bowl and they beat Oklahoma State 48-20. So you were confusing games there.
So TCU actually beat Ole Miss.
TCU beat Ole Miss.
Okay.
It was the Sugar Bowl the next year where they walked Oklahoma State. But to your point, back-to-back years they were in the Peach Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. I mean, that was kind of the point you were making there.
Yeah,
Which is what you get right now with Ole Miss.
That was TCU that was when we left both Big 12 teams out because they couldn't decide who their champion was, right?
Yeah.
And
that was that year.
We put a team, Ohio State in. They ended up winning the
Ohio
championship.
State ended up walking and walking.
They can't do it with a third-string quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
Final four, Troy Auburn's entire season lays at the feet of Jackson Arnold. If he doesn't turn the ball over, they'll be good, and Freeze will be that guy. Landmine believer, Freeze beat Alabama twice. Once was a fluke. That's the only elite wins on his resume. I'd probably have more elite, I guess.
I mean, does he have a signature win right now at Auburn?
No. I don't even know what you would say his best win is.
I mean, best effort was maybe the Georgia game 2 years ago.
Yeah, in a loss.
Brock Bowers.
What is Hugh Freeze's best win right now? Forrester.
Boy.
Give us Forrester.
If you could take Gravedigger away.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
For dang sure.
I don't even know. It's I mean, there's so many close calls, but
I mean, his best wins are close losses, aren't they, Scott? I mean, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
But like, guys on that list like Billy Napier, I mean, is his signature win not Ole Miss?
But I mean, is it not Texas A&M? They rushed the field last year.
Yeah, but that was
a 5-loss A&M team.
5-loss A&M team.
I'm just saying they rushed the field.
Well, I don't know that's. I mean, I'll give you his ranked wins.
He's been there, 2 years now?
2 years. He did not have a ranked win his first year. His best win year one was probably at Arkansas or Cal. on the road.
Keep going. Flip year.
Well, I don't know that it's going to get a ton better in 2024.
Probably Cal on the road, to be honest.
Cal on the road was probably his best win year one.
One of the ugliest football games I ever watched.
His ranked win. I mean, that was a number. It's his only ranked win is Texas A&M.
That's his only ranked win.
Yeah.
I love Hugh, but the next time we talk to him, I'm going to ask him, do you have a signature win at Auburn?
He'll probably say no.
Question.
No, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
And I think he'll answer you honestly and say, I do not.
Man, I hope to get him soon.
Yeah,
That's what he would say.
It'll be something like that. No, his
man,
he's going to be a guy that.
Man,
look,
I think we're close.
I think cancer. Obviously, I mean, you've heard the numbers, how it affects. 1 in 3, and you know somebody really close to you that is dealt with this. And he spoke about it again yesterday. I think there's going to be a lot of people pulling for Hugh this year. Because
you mean nationally?
Yeah. I just he's an infectious guy. I know there's a lot of fans around the SEC that might not like him. But he's one of these guys that not only has got to navigate really difficult schedule in year 3, there's a lot of pressure on him, but to be dealing with cancer on the side of that, man, that's a lot.
His quote to Chris Lowe, you can read the whole story at ESPN. He goes, at the time, the only thing you hear is the C word. I'm only 55. We're a family of faith, and I just didn't feel like it was time to rush into surgery. I'm at peace with it. The cancer was low aggressive, decided to wait until January and let doctors re-examine his situation instead of having surgery. And they go into detail on how he's mentally, with his faith and everything, going through the process of treatment and everything. It will be a storyline throughout the year for Hugh Freeze. That's at ESPN.com if you want to hear that. One more thought on that coaching list after we remind you that the lock of the day, Lance'sLock.com, is brought to you every day by our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
Yeah, shaky night. It started with the Knicks up 3, 13 seconds. They gave up a 3, went to overtime, loss. So shaky night. We bounce back, though. We have multiple winners. We got 4 coming up in Major League Baseball, 2 in the NBA. Jump on board and win with us. Always a free play. It is brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services, and they want to remind you, spring weather is here. You need to make sure that you take advantage of what Hemp Hill Services are offering. A $1,000 off the new HVAC installs plus 0% financing. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated, independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. Do it now. 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Hey, when it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer scoured the internet. She looked for the right person for the job after talking to certain contractors, people that had used certain contractors. Brad Bell was the guy she chose. Scott always shows you some before and afters in my bathroom, but you can see more than that at alabamabathremodels.com. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That's not all he does, but it is certainly his specialty. alabamabathremodels.com. Brad can be reached at 205-422-1758. If you want him to come out and look at your job, 205-422-1758. The reason I point out master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets, you spend a lot of time in those rooms. But if you go to sell your house, just think about when you were shopping for the house you're in. You looked at those rooms, didn't you? They pop when you go to sell your house. So make sure those rooms are updated. Enjoy them while you have them. Make a little bit back when you go to sell them. alabamabathremodels.com. It is Brad Bell. alabamabathremodels.com or 205-422-1758.
All right, so here's the point. If I can get the list one more time, Forrester, however you want to do it, full screen or in the box. So you see the list over there. How many playoff teams are on that list this year if you had to just do a wild guess right now?
Okay, I'm randomly going to say that of the top 3 SEC guys, Napier, Freeze, or even Venables, one of those 3 is going to get there.
Well, DeBoer's on there too.
I am saying that DeBoer's getting there already.
No, I think there are 4 playoff teams.
Okay, so I'm going to go 2 there.
So 2 off the SEC.
Well, I think here's the way I would do my 4, Lance. I think I'm just going to say teams I think will be there. Alabama, Clemson, Penn State, and then one of LSU, Auburn, Florida, or Oklahoma. Okay,
fair enough.
Then I don't think Florida State will be there. I do not think Wisconsin will be there. And then you have to figure out Southern Cal.
Yeah, I don't
think they'll be there.
I'm going to pull back now. I'm going to say LSU's there, Clemson's there, Penn State's there, Alabama is there, and I think I'm going to end it right there.
Yeah, so 4.
Yeah, 4.
So you go LSU, Penn State, Clemson, and Alabama?
Yep.
And I go Alabama, Clemson, Penn State, and one of LSU, Auburn, Florida,
one
Oklahoma.
up thing. I mean, that's a cop-out. You're spraying the board here at this point.
I wasn't given the rules before this.
I mean, it's 10 names
I will
up
tell
there.
you, your
give me
friend,
3, and then
your
you're
friend, the Brown Bandit, would be a little more selective.
Okay. If the Brown Bandit is still alive, and we do not
We
know
don't
that.
know.
We don't know.
He's right there with Richard Simmons, right?
Yeah. Have we seen Richard Simmons lately? We haven't seen the Brown Bandit lately. How many days till football, Jim?
Oh, we are 136.
136. So we're
cut a month right there.
We're about 135 days from finding out if the Brown Bandit's alive. Maybe we'll know before then. I do not know.
But what would the Brown Bandit?
He would
what
go
direction?
LSU.
Okay.
Brown Bandit would go LSU.
Yeah, so we agree.
Yeah.
No chance that we both get that right.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are the 4 I would go with for sure. All right, top of the hour here. Show being brought to you by our friends at the Golfist. Before Brownie tells us about the Golfist, my DMs are open. If you want to be, it's that time of year.
Voter.
It's that time of year. If you want to be a voter,
yeah.
If you want to be a voter in the upcoming 40 and 40 countdown, start hitting me up in the DMs. And I take it very serious. These guys will tell you probably more serious than I should. Jim, how many times have I heard, Jim, you're not the Associated Press. Back off a little bit, dude. But I take the 40 and 40 preseason rankings of college football very serious. If you want to be very serious about it and vote this year, hit me up in the DMs.
Before yesterday, you and the Associated Press had one thing in common. Neither one of you were in a White House press briefing.
That's right.
The Golfist is a fun social place to hang out with your buddies. Affordable, too. And just have a blast. Birmingham's best indoor golf simulators. All the courses you've seen. Maybe a course you'll see this weekend is on there. Maybe. You can go see for yourself at the Golfist. It is. TheGolfist.com, TheGolfist.com, Highway 31 in Vestavia, Van Road in Trussville, Highway 280 location. You can find all those at TheGolfist.com. The games are on in the bays. The golf will be on in the bays, so you can watch them while you play the courses that you love and see on TV. It's just a great place to hang out. It's also a great place to get out of the office, do some team building. Don't do a boring meeting. Go to the Golfist, TheGolfist.com for more information and to book a bay. TheGolfist.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Celebrate the best time of year, tournament time with MyBookie.ag. Sign up right now, code NEXTROUND, and receive a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Plus, a $10 casino chip. Tournament time is here, so enjoy it even more by playing along at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND on your initial deposit for a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Plus, $10 casino chip. Don't get caught by the buzzer. Sign up now at MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Hey, you. Days warming up, looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
The 15th annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show, presented by AmFirst, is May 9th through the 11th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. The Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show is totally free to the public. Bama's biggest in-water boat show, 80 boats, lake lifestyle vendors, food trucks, beer garden, and live music all weekend long. There's fireworks on Friday night to honor veterans, a mermaid parade on Saturday, and free mimosas for Mama on Sunday. All by going to LoganMartinLakeFest.com, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
The biggest and baddest track in NASCAR is Talladega Super Speedway, and it's ready to put on another amazing show in April. If you've never been to the Talladega Super Speedway, you have to check it out. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every single turn. Don't miss the Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 25th through 27th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Don't miss the action. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
We love the moments, the memories, the magic, the championships. So let's get more. More victories. More celebration. He's got a chance. He won't be caught. More unforgettable. More football. More of what you love.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show as we continue to transition from what was an amazing basketball season into what we hope will be an equally amazing college football season coming up. I've got a question to ask after I remind you that the show is being brought to you in part today by our buddy, Alexander Shunnarah. And I always like to point out at least once a week that he is one of the local success stories.
Oh, no doubt.
In Birmingham history. Love this.
Yeah, look, if you don't know the backstory on Alexander Shunnarah, a lot of people think, guy was born on third base. I'll tell you, an easy way to do the deep dive is to go back and look at the last call with Alexander Shunnarah.
Right there on our YouTube channel. Just go into the last call section.
I mean, this guy was studying for law at the Birmingham School of Law while running a liquor store at the same, and got held up in that liquor store.
That's amazing. He is now a Birmingham guy. By the way, at the end of this spot, I'm going to announce our 3 winners from the Shunnarah Showdown. We're giving away cash right at the end of this spot.
Okay, stand by.
Stand by. His elite trial lawyers have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. His mission was to create a firm that can handle any issue the community faced in Birmingham. They now handle not only personal injury claims, claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com. So here we go. These are the winners. Now, I will say this. We're going to contact these winners and get the gift cards to you or the cash cards to you. So if I call your name right now and you miss it, it's no big deal. You'll get a...
Yeah, your friend will hit you up, tell you about it, but we'll get this to you.
The $250 winner is...
This is from our Shunnarah Challenge.
Shunnarah Showdown.
That we did through the NCAA tournament.
$250 winner, Kelly Jones. Kelly had Florida in the Florida-Auburn game April 5th.
Do we know if Kelly is a guy or a girl?
Don't know.
Is it Kelly with a Y or an I?
With a Y.
I don't know a Kelly with a... Can you imagine if you named your boy Kelly with an I?
I've never seen that one.
Well, Johnny Cash would sing about you.
Yes. Kelly Jones, Kelly with a Y. $500 winner, Michael Guarino, I think is how you say this name. Guarino, apologies to Michael if I mispronounced that.
Michael G.
Definitely a male.
Definitely a male, Michael. I do think I know I don't know. March 20th, Michael had Arkansas in the Arkansas-Kansas game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a good call there, Michael G.
Yeah. And
very Severance like Michael G.
Michael G. And then Adam Reimer is your $1,000 winner who had Auburn in the Auburn-Michigan game on March 30th. Adam Reimer. So those are your winners. Congrats to Kelly Jones, Michael G., and Adam Reimer. We
How
will be
nice.
in touch.
Our man, Alexander Shunnarah, is handing you cash.
Yeah.
He's hard. Cash card.
He's a PRP, prime Reimer player.
Hey, so he's
awful.
collected
Awful.
over $2 billion in settlements for clients out there. I know, Dunaway, you've said you will work until the day you die.
Mm-hmm.
If I offered you $1 billion, but you can never work another minute in your life, would you do it?
Dunaway.
I mean, $1 billion, LT, to never work again. Sure, I would do that. I would do that for
your family,
for
right?
my family,
Yeah.
for my church,
Okay.
for my country.
Are you paying taxes on that?
Yeah, and for, specific schools NIL.
Yeah.
Yet to be determined.
Greg Byrne will be the first phone call you got. Hey, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Really love what you guys are doing over the next round.
You called me John last time I saw you, but you know my name now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I heard your advice about not going to the NBA. Oh, hey, Coach Oates.
Hey, Nate.
Hey.
Do you think
I'm staying?
with that
Now
kind
I
of
need your
money,
help.
would you give Alabama a lot of cash?
Well, I mean,
Do this.
am I getting $1 billion?
No, do this. We talk about the Texas Tech oil guy, $4 billion. Now, I don't know how much that he got, but he sold his company for $4 billion.
But realistically, with a 3% return, and that is going low, you can never run out of money.
You cannot.
Okay, $1 billion. Okay.
Let's say that's your keep. That's after you've paid Uncle Sam. You get the billion.
At the end of this, you tell us about NASCAR. This is Jim, NASCAR Fast, spending all this money.
All right, go.
Right off the bat. You set a big chunk aside for your well-being, your family's well-being, and everything.
Yep.
But I'm already down to $500 million, right?
No,
But taxes.
billion was your take home. That's your take home.
Okay, it's before. It's
That's
after taxes.
taxes.
I got $1 billion.
All right,
Okay.
You got $1 billion. All right.
So I'm going to set a big chunk to the side for my family.
Am I doing this right? Is that $3 million? No, it's more than $30 million in just interest.
Yeah. So I'm 250 million set aside for my family. That includes investments and things like that
right.
to protect them forever and ever and ever.
So your kids and your grandkids are taken care of.
What are you squeezing out for us?
Wait,
Hang on. We're not there yet. He's only spent a
I
quarter
had
of a
to
billion.
go family first.
Okay.
Okay, $1 million ahead.
By the way, you spend more time with us.
$1 million ahead for everybody that works up here. I'd give you $1 million.
Thank you. That is actually very, very generous.
Damn, so you would give Brown, you've worked with the longest, then me. So you would give Tyler as much as you give Brown?
I'm not keeping score like he is. I appreciate the million.
Yeah.
Lance is. Tyler, I'm sorry.
I
did
said
that to
on
you.
average $1 million ahead. I love the way you think you're going to get the same amount as Brown.
Oh, I didn't
Brown and
think-
I've been married.
That's what I said. Like, I shouldn't get as much as Brown.
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to start the infighting like I did in the Alabama locker room about going to Mo Diabate's barber.
So if you give everybody an average of $1 million, I assume that means I get zero?
No.
You're getting $1 million.
Everybody's
I'll
getting
make
$1
sure.
million.
Oh, well, thank you, Joe.
Because everybody, I mean, despite our pay, we all have poured blood
right.
and guts into this
That's
up
right.
here.
All right.
But here's the best part. I'm also buying us a building, and we're going to keep doing the next round for those that want to keep doing
Well, no,
it.
you can't because you can't work anymore.
Well, I'm not working.
So it's me and Lance.
I'm starting the platform.
Yeah.
I'd feel
can't
better
work.
about this. We had our own building.
I can't work?
Yeah.
No, that's part of the
That's
deal.
it.
Oh, then I'm
you're
out.
just funding
I'm out.
us. Oh, bull crap.
Well, you
are
just said
not
you
out.
would take the billion
I
to
would,
not
but
work
I want to
anymore.
keep working. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It's going to be
Well,
fun.
we appreciate you funding
I
it.
would create an atmosphere. I'd have us a building.
Yeah.
We'd have the wall I've always wanted that could change into logos and sponsors
the
and
video
stuff. It
wall.
would just change all the time behind us.
Look how quick he's going broke. I noticed, and I'm sure Maggie noticed the same thing. You haven't tithed yet. You're going to tithe 10%.
We're paying off every debt at Asbury United Methodist.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
Local charity.
Now, do you think with $1 billion she would continue to do what she does?
That's a calling. That's not a job.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Calling, but she could also be called to a wine lunch with her girlfriends.
And she also went to Duke for a reason.
That's right. Are you going to donate to their NIL?
I'm not donating to Duke's NIL, but we'd be paying off some of the Duke money.
So you donate to Bama's NIL, but not Duke's.
I didn't say Bama. I said in particular schools.
Montevallo?
Montevallo's lacrosse team would be really good.
Hey, the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR is Talladega Super Speedway. Dunaway's going to buy that one day. Oh,
But
what
see,
if you own that?
here's the problem.
What?
Is I would want us to keep working. I would do this great thing with with the building, with the next round and this platform. I'd hire a few friends in the media that I think deserve a bigger and better platform.
Oh, tell me your first hire.
Well, I mean, I'd give our buddy T-Bob a chance to join the family.
T-Bob is working for Jim Rome now.
I know. I would want to give T-Bob a chance to move up.
He's working for Jim Rome.
Right?
I would love to have T-Bob as
T-Bob
part of this.
was one of my favorite people in the world, T-Bob.
Yeah.
All right.
My buddy Rosie down at WSFA, who helped Taylor out 2 years ago. I'd give her a chance
Rosie
to come
Langelo?
work for us. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very talented.
Yeah.
She won't be with us long.
Yeah, there's a couple people.
It's interesting that you T-Bob and Rosie. I'm sure Luke and Bill somewhere listening. Like
Luke and Bill would be in the mix.
Bro.
Luke and Bill, Connor O'Gara. I mean, there's people I would reach out to and say, "Hey, come join the platform here, and let's protect everybody's
I
future."
don't know. I know of Rosie. I don't know her. I know the other three.
Yeah, Rosie's been up here once before. I don't know if you were here that day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Great additions, though.
Yeah,
I think we should make this work. Buy a building.
Well,
you know the thing that jumps out at me in this exercise.
Ooh, would it be cheaper if we bought a house, like a big,
that was-
multi-bedroom house?
We
and
thought
then
about doing it.
I don't
think
it's
actually a plan here.
Technically, you can't run a business.
Yeah, that was Plan A. We even went and looked at the house, Tyler.
And actually, there's a company that bought the building that we were looking at buying as well. It wasn't a house, but it used to be a house.
Oh yeah.
But it's in a business area now.
Yeah, it's zone commercial. This was not zone commercial. It was zone residential. Lance is right. We probably want to run into some legal issues there. But it was a house with the back of it was pretty much all glass, as I remember it. And there was a pool out back. And we were going to do the studio with that pool in the background. And our thought was, now, what are you laughing at?
Oh, I'm just laughing at thinking about Scott setting up the cameras next to a giant window.
No, Scott.
That's his pet peeve.
Now that we're doing this, Scott, you would have hated it. It would have been a lighting nightmare.
Yeah.
But we were going to have like floats in our vision was to have like those big inflatable swan floating in the pool.
Yeah. Vizsla's running around.
Vizsla's running wild.
It's going to be fun. I mean,
one of the things that was the con list. We were going to have a car or truck sponsorship, and it was how to get. There was no way to get the car or truck to the pool area to be by the window.
We wanted it sitting next to the pool, like whatever car or truck.
But the
like
fact
local
is,
car dealer could pull in a new truck or a new car on a random basis whenever they wanted to change it out.
Yeah, businesses that own their own building are the most profitable.
Yeah, they are. And we looked at that, and it was now the place we looked had a haunted basement.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
because I initially looked at this place.
To me.
It could have been content early on.
Because I looked at it like as a residence for me, and then I had this terrible feeling. I've told the story before on the air, and I brought Brown. I was like, "You got to come look at this," and he had the exact same feeling.
Yeah, something was going on.
And
in that
then we
basement.
found out because you only have to disclose if somebody dies in the house if the owners ask if it was the previous owner, and so this one goes back to the initial people that built the house, but there was. We were told a very violent death.
Unfortunate situation.
In that house.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's in my neighborhood, by the way.
Yeah. It would have been fun.
Were they Bigfoot hunters?
I don't think so. The biggest, baddest track in NASCAR is Talladega Super Speedway, ready to put on another amazing show in April. If you haven't been to Talladega Super Speedway, you need to check it out. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed, incredible action at every turn. The Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway is April 25th through 27th. You can get your tickets now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. That is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Clint Lamb coming up in the next segment to talk football. A couple of things here before we do our four downs. John Gruden is back doing work for Barstool, and he's doing his quarterback room thing, which was fantastic back when he would do that pre-draft leading up on ESPN. Will Howard is his most recent one I saw. And funny part from that was Will Howard said he was going back to the playoff win over Tennessee. And he said those dudes came out with no shirts on during warm-ups, and they ran to one end of the field and then back to the other end of the field, and they all started putting their shirts back on. And he said he looked to his teammates and said, "We got him."
Yeah, that's fake.
I remember hearing
Yeah.
this story. I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it this week or that week when it actually came out.
Yeah, that they came out wanting to say hey, weather's not going to bother us. Big bad SEC. They ran onto the field and back to their end zone and all put on their warm clothing.
But how far is Knoxville from Columbus? Knoxville gets damn cold.
Yeah, smart enough though. You should have not come out shirtless. And Will Howard told him, "Hey, I knew right then we had him right there." Also, we've talked a lot about Drew Pine. He is the new quarterback at Bowling Green. He's going to be the starter for Eddie George's team there.
What a journey, though. You go from, Missouri, Notre Dame. What was the third in there? Missouri, Notre Dame was another big college, and now he's at Bowling Green.
He's at Bowling Green now, where he's finally will get his playing time. I did not know this. Zach Arnett, the one-time Mississippi State defensive coordinator head coach, was on the UNLV staff with Dan Mullen for a short period of time. He has left the program for personal reasons, but he was going to be the DC there at UNLV, but they're filling that role now. And then Ryan Day says at spring football up at Ohio State that Julian Sayin has not won the job yet, that Lincoln Kienholz is still battling. It's neck and neck, and some days he says that Lincoln is ahead of Julian in the quarterback race. Kienholz was a preferred walk-on. He's now a redshirt sophomore. He's the guy that got tabbed with having to play in that Cotton Bowl game when Ohio State was, he was
only like 22 or something like that, wasn't he? Yeah.
When they were out of everybody. Everybody had opted out of the game, and they got blitzed by Missouri in that contest. He was the quarterback, didn't look good in that game, but apparently he's gotten better. Do you really believe that he's battling Julian Sayin?
I don't know. I was going to ask you guys, if you're a fan, do you want the good news is if the quarterback battle is that close, then you've got depth if both guys are really good, or do you want the clear-cut starter?
I want the clear-cut starter. I want my blue blood prospect 5-star quarterback to be so dominant right now that we're not playing games, that we don't care if Lincoln Kienholz.
So you want it more NFL-like, right?
Yeah, I want it to be Julian saying, this guy's my 1, this guy's my 2, and if my 2 wants to go to the portal, to heck with him, right? So we've got developing news here. Forrester's telling me, turn Forrester's microphone on. Before we do 4 downs, do we have a new basketball coach? Oh, are you kidding me? I'm seeing this for the first time. I love this.
I was told, well, go ahead.
I love this. You can break it. I love this guy.
We have Bucky McMillan's replacement at Samford.
Who is it?
Lennie Acuff.
Yes.
Coming from Lipscomb.
Yeah, for those that don't remember Lennie Acuff's career, he won a ton of games at Alabama Huntsville, UAH. Was very, very well thought of at UAH. In fact, I'm pulling up his record right now. It's 454, 223. I don't think he ever won a national championship there, but he was in the playoffs a lot, or in the tournament a lot. And then parlay that into the Lipscomb job, where he's made one tournament in 6 years at Lipscomb.
Yep. Won the regular season this year.
Yep.
In his conference, and then lost in the tournament championship, I believe.
I would assume has a really good relationship with Martin Newton. I mean,
I would think, yeah.
Martin knows all these coaches. But, a little surprising. I thought that they might go young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lennie is not that.
He's not, but I only picture him to be about 53, maybe.
Scott, do you have his age? I'm pulling it back up.
I can get it.
Yeah. This is when Lennie is going to be 44.
Lennie is 60.
Oh, 60.
Yeah, I was actually going to say 60.
Yeah, just turned 60.
Looks good for 60 there. Good for Lennie, and good for Samford there. Guy's won everywhere he's been, and that's the follow-up to Bucky McMillan down there at Samford. 4 downs every day, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles. Brownie, tell us about the Bo.
You do not have to pick between sweet and savory at breakfast anymore. You can have them both at Bojangles. The Bojangles chicken and bowberry waffles, signature Cajun chicken filet, drizzled with a bowberry glaze and sandwiched between warm waffles, available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
First down.
Let's go. Dennis Quaid, 71 years old today.
Okay.
By the way, have you seen this Happy Face Killer show? That it looks awful.
I've seen a lot of previews for it, like on YouTube, and it just looks terrible.
Yeah, he's almost got a happy face with the cosmetic work that he's gotten.
Yeah.
But Quaid is 71. Better career, Dennis Quaid or Dennis Eckersley?
I'd go Dennis Eckersley. He didn't end up being the greatest closer of all time because of a guy named Mariano Rivera. And maybe there were some between he and Mariano that were better than him.
But he was for a long period of time.
And he, to me, was like the first great closer. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I just remember him. Look, and Eric Gagne was this guy for a couple of years. But Dennis Eckersley was unhittable. And that's why I still go back to it's one of my top 2 or 3 sports moments when Kirk Gibson hits the home run, because not only so unlikely for him to play in that game, but to limp out and to get that 2-run shot off a guy that was virtually unhittable. And I think people forget Eckersley had a no-hitter as a starting pitcher, I think, with the Red Sox before. So he had a similar career. Didn't have the success Smoltz had as a starter.
Right.
Obviously had the success as a closer, but he did both.
But Dennis Quaid also was a good pitcher and a high school baseball coach.
Had a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the side
Dennis
of the road.
Quaid to me was never an A-list actor.
No.
You know, he was always a B guy.
I have not seen his portrayal of Ronald Reagan, but I talked actually to several people in D.C., oddly enough, that asked me if I'd seen it, knowing my affinity for Reagan. I said no, and they're like, "Oh, it's really, really good." Have you seen it?
Only
looks
heard
awful.
the opposite of it.
Yeah, it
I've
looks
heard that
awful.
it's one of the worst movies that
I've had multiple people tell me it was good.
Guy in front of me on the plane was watching it, and I just kept looking up, and all I could see is Dennis Quaid playing Ronald Reagan.
Scott Stapp from Creed plays Frank Sinatra.
No.
In that movie?
No, he doesn't.
In the Reagan movie?
Yeah.
Scott Stapp plays.
I believe it's Scott Stapp from Creed. It's someone from Creed.
Oh my God!
So I would assume you get Scott Stapp.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Wow.
Yes. All right.
Second down.
Hugh Hefner would have been 99 years old today. If I asked you ultimately the better career, was it Hugh Hefner or Jerry Jones?
I'd say Jerry Jones.
No.
Oh, 100%. Jerry Jones, I mean, his product will be, and I know that things just change, and that's why Hugh Hefner's product is irrelevant now, but Jerry Jones's will be relevant forever.
What is his product?
Yeah, he
The
didn't.
Dallas Cowboys.
Well, but he didn't create the Dallas
He didn't
Cowboys.
Yeah,
create
but
it.
he took them to another level.
He bought it, and
They had more success pre-Jerry Jones than they've had now.
yeah, what level did he
Financially,
take? What
no, financially to another level. I mean, the
the
league.
NFL is
But dude,
Yeah, but Jerry Jones is a massive part of that.
creating a smut machine like Playboy, and not only that, it really did appeal. I know that the
I
running
wouldn't
joke
even call
was
it a smut machine.
Let me take that back. I mean, smut machine is Wii and
Hustler.
and Hustler, things like that.
They were classy.
But it was the running joke. I get Playboy for the articles, but they did have like really entertaining deep dives before you could find out stuff about celebrities online. And the Playboy All-American team, you correct me if I'm wrong,
was
it
a
was
big deal.
big
Yeah,
deal.
no, I mean, and their interviews were, they were the best of the best.
The Playboy Mansion was iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, say what you want about Hugh Hefner.
The clubs, the entertainment clubs that they had around the country.
And he seemed like a complete sleazeball, but man, he created a monster.
Yeah. Hugh Hefner for me, a better businessman.
There's no way he's a better businessman.
Oh,
His product doesn't exist anymore. Jerry Jones bought a team for probably, I mean, what did he buy the Cowboys for?
A lot, because he had a lot. I'm just saying, Hugh Hefner absolutely created the concept that led to other tentacles on that concept.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what Jerry did that was ever inventive.
Technically, Hugh did not invent the female body.
That is true.
But he delivered it to many, many young boys.
He did.
Yeah.
He let people know what it was all about.
Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for $140 million. What do you imagine they're worth today?
Oh, it's $8 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Hugh Hefner's the better of the two businessmen?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hugh
Okay,
Hefner
well,
started.
that's insane.
Started a magazine in Chicago that ended up being $1 billion industry.
Right.
I would just ask this about Jerry, and I don't know this. Is he self-made? I would doubt he is.
I
think he
don't
is.
think he inherited. No, I think
Okay.
he
I
worked.
think he's self-made.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
I know Hugh Hefner was.
Yeah.
But it makes it an easy argument, Hugh Hefner, if
Yeah.
Jerry Jones was born with the money.
Like, I knew what the Dallas Cowboys looked like when I was 11.
You didn't know what they looked like naked, though?
I didn't know what a female body looked like
You
when I
brought
was
up
11.
Easter eggs on the show. One of the awesome one was the cover of Playboy, and I don't know if you know this, Tyler. There was always a bunny on the Playmate on the cover, and it was always hidden.
Yeah.
It was very subliminal, and so you would try to find the bunny. I don't know how many 11-year-olds spent time on that besides jumping straight to the main menu, but
Jones' parents owned a grocery store, and then his father also had an insurance company. It was successful, but
no, he's self-made.
He's self-made.
Upper middle class.
Yeah.
Third down.
Okay, so on this date in 1882, Jumbo the elephant arrived in America, which also popularized the term jumbo. If I asked you your favorite all-time big player, I know this is getting a lot, but I just wanted to throw out the fact that on this date in 1882 is when we got the word jumbo in our vocabulary.
Probably William the Refrigerator Perry. He was the first.
It's a great name.
Oh, you've never heard of him?
I've never heard
of him.
of
No,
him.
a defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears when the Chicago Bears were the best team in the NFL, and they used to put him in goal line situations and hand him the football, which you just don't see in the NFL. I mean, that's kind of.
And a lot of people don't realize how good of a defensive tackle he was at Clemson, winning a national championship at Clemson.
Fantastic.
Yeah. My favorite big jumbo player of all time,
Terrence Cody.
No, it was probably
jumbo.
It was probably a guy we saw this past weekend. I liked Hakeem Olajuwon. I thought he was really good. What was he, 7'2"?
I don't think of him as jumbo though, because he was skinny. But yeah, he's tall.
I think he was 7 feet.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was skilled like a dude that was 6'5".
Yeah, I mean, Shaq was one of my favorites too but he was really skinny in early years in the NBA.
Yeah, I think Shaq for me, just because of the things he could do athletically. Like people don't remember this, and I saw this, and I don't know if this was. I guess it was viral, but Kenny Smith was hosting Charles Barkley in a bachelorette-like forum with the girls of San Antonio. And every one of the girls was just saying something negative about Charles. Did you see this?
I did not. I like it though.
And I had a point to that. I don't even know what it was, but anyway.
Fourth down.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Maybe it was the Jumbo Girls of San Antonio. This day in 1965, the Astrodome opened, the first ever indoor baseball game, by the way. Was there a venue that has come and gone that you always wanted to go to but you never went to? Kingdome for me. I don't know why, but I used to watch some of those West Coast late night games, and then even watching the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. It just seemed like Kingdome was so loud.
Yeah, it was. I would always want to go to original Yankee Stadium. I don't know how much the new one matches the original. I think you were at the original.
Not really close.
I wasn't at the original, no.
Yeah, I'd like to go see the original.
Across the street, you can still play on the dirt.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the Astrodome. I always wanted to go to the Astrodome because, for my childhood, that was...
Wasn't it the eighth wonder of the world?
The Love You Blue, Houston Oilers, 78, 79.
House of Pain is what they called it.
Yeah, so the Astrodome for me.
Old school Orange Bowl, too, as a Dolphins fan. And then as a kid growing up, the Orange Bowl was always spectacular.
I didn't go to the Orange Bowl. I would like to have done that.
I've been on the site where it was, but I've never been to the actual – I never got to go to the stadium.
Yeah. I've been to the Cotton Bowl. I've been to the Rose Bowl now.
Yeah.
But, all three of us have been to Legion Field.
That's right.
Hey, there was a time Legion Field was on my bucket list. A long way from Alabaster to Legion Field. That's our 4 downs, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
Bojangles, you don't have to pick between sweet and spicy anymore. You just order that brand new sweet and savory, Cajun chicken filet with the 2 waffles and the Bowberry glaze. It's bow time.
Yep. And our friend Dr. B, LT. Tell us about him, and we'll get to Clint Lamb on the other side.
Yeah, best in the business. Look, if you're starting to lose hair, be preemptive. I did this over 3 years ago when we started this show. I noticed that I was thinning out. I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Make the phone call that I made, 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. My hair has more than doubled in thickness since I first went to see Dr. B. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. T3's got that new test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. There are over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. You can pick and choose which agents you want. Men and women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money. Critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Come see Dr. B and the great staff. Find out what will work for you. 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway is ready to put on another amazing show in April. If you've never been to this track, you've got to come check it out. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every turn. Don't miss the Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. It's April 25th through the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. That's TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, you. Days warming up, looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, May 2nd through the 4th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, O'Ward, Dixon, and Newgarden will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness Miss America Abby Stockard give the most iconic command in all of racing as the Grand Marshal. May starts here. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours today.
What a great time of year to be online with our friends at MyBookie.ag, MyBookie.ag, where right now you get a major current sign-up bonus, a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip when using the code NEXTROUND. That's code NEXTROUND. We're talking about all the madness of March, the NBA playoff race, the start of Major League Baseball, and it's all for you right now online when using the code NEXTROUND. Go sign up today, MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No matter the occasion, the Next Round store has you covered with whatever you need. Head over to nextround.store and start filling your cart up now. When you wear your gear, make sure to let us know by posting on socials, and you might just end up seeing yourself during a commercial break. Go browse now at nextround.store and place your order before the break ends.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Back with you on the next round. Let's get right to Clint Lamb after we remind you the show today being brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. If you want to get some great work from Daniel A. Moore over the years of great Alabama moments, you can do that right there at DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com, the promo code TNR. Whether it's a great Ozzie Newsome catch in the Iron Bowl, whether it's the Rocky Block, whether it's the goal line stand, whether it's a dive for the end zone that wins the national championship against Clemson, whether it's Gene Stallings being carried off the field after the 1993 January 1st Sugar Bowl win over Miami, or whether it's the legend Nick Saban and 6 national championships, you can get it all right there at DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com.
All right, Clint Lamb is part of Cover Crimson. You can join up now, covercrimson.com. Follow Clint on social media at Clint R. Lamb. Get all their content there at Cover Crimson. He and Mick and Jay Coker and Stacy and all the gang there. They do tremendous work, and you can see more at covercrimson.com. What's up, Clint? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, fellas. How you guys doing today?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. We were just discussing this. Maybe it's just college basketball being so much better in this state. Maybe it's just the state of college football and where we're going with spring games. There is just not the buzz there once was. Is that on us, or are you noticing that over at Cover Crimson and being at practice and everywhere you go?
I do feel like the buzz has picked up, but right after the season, it felt like I can't remember a time where it felt that dead. It kind of felt like everybody was burnt out on college football a little bit, which I never thought I would say in my lifetime. But I do feel like it's picked up for Alabama in particular, but at the same time, relative to, obviously last spring was a huge deal. And we compare a lot to that as far as the transition from Nick Saban to Kalen DeBoer. There was all this interest. What was going to change, what was going to stay the same, who's going to stick around, who's going to leave. So there were a lot of storylines this year too. I mean, obviously when you got a quarterback battle, that's a lot to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like it's the buzz hasn't been quite where it was a year ago or maybe in some years past, but I do feel like the interest has picked up in recent weeks.
Clint, when Kalen DeBoer took this job, it was an unknown on how well year one would go, but I think everybody had confidence the offense was going to be really good. And we were just talking about Caleb Odom transferring out to Ole Miss, and we were talking about, we knew Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard were 1 and 2, but we were trying to figure out who that third leading receiver was on Alabama. And when we started to look at the numbers, you didn't have a 1,000-yard guy receiving. Your leading rusher was a quarterback in Jalen Milroe, who only had 726 yards. We know the Jalen Milroe experience was so up and down. I mean, the offense was really a mess last year. How different do you think the offense is going to be in year two with Ryan Grubb reuniting with Kalen DeBoer?
Well, I think a lot of your issues have been resolved. If you had a problem with Jalen Milroe in the quarterback position, that's going to look vastly different under whoever ends up starting. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, or Ty Simpson. If you're talking about the offensive line, I think it's a little bit better fit for Kalen DeBoer and what he wants to do. I think there's a little bit more athleticism there with some of the guys that they're going to have involved. Whether you're talking about, the receivers, I think they've gotten massive upgrades as far as, a year two Ryan Williams is better than a year one Ryan Williams. Jeremy Bernard, who's now comfortable in his new environment, he should be better. Isaiah Horton is going to be a phenomenal, probably, I wouldn't even call him a wide receiver 3, but a fantastic third receiver that's amongst those starters. And then the depth, I think it's the deepest wide receiver room that we've seen in a while. Whether you're talking about, Nick Sheridan and anybody that had problems with the offensive coordinator, that's been addressed with Ryan Grubb. So it's like you would fully expect year two under Kalen DeBoer to look vastly different offensively, but you're 100% right. When you look last year, the inconsistencies, especially after, it was almost like the Georgia game was a perfect representation for what Alabama was going to be for the entire season, which was, the first half was absolutely dominant. You saw that at times, both offensively and defensively. But then the second half, just there's no way they could keep that momentum going. They almost blew. I mean, they did blow a massive lead, ended up having to win it there at the end, but very Jekyll and Hyde. And that's exactly what Alabama was. They can never really get comfortable or figure it out offensively. I would fully expect that to improve in year two, and not only improve, but improve pretty drastically.
Listen, you keep talking quarterbacks in your first two answers. So I'll go ahead and ask the obvious question. Is it Ty Simpson's job to lose right now? I keep hearing unbelievable stuff about his accuracy and his ability to know what's going on. And then where is Austin Mack and Keelan Russell? Are we to the point that it's a battle for the backup position, or do you think it's still a real open competition?
I do still think it's a competition. I think it's Ty's to lose. I mean, one thing that he's doing everything he can to make sure he's the starting quarterback in week one. Now, he's still got some work to do, too. He's not a finished product. I know everybody wants him to be, but, he's still trying to adjust to being kind of a guy who is positioned to be the favorite. He's never been in this position before. And, he's done some really good things. Like you said, the ball placement and accuracy and the consistency in which he's been doing it, I've heard has been big. You've got receivers who can create yardage after the catch. You got to be able to put the football in a place where they can do that pretty consistently. He's done that. But then you look at guys like Austin Mack, who's been, one thing about it, he has been given every opportunity to get himself in a position to take the job from Ty Simpson. When you talk about the first team reps that have been split, I think Ryan Grubb, in a recent interview, he brought up that Austin Mack has actually seen more first-team reps than Ty Simpson, which was kind of surprising. But, I think Ty Simpson's also doing a lot with his reps. So, that could have something to do with it. But then you got Keelan Russell, who I think we can all agree is the most talented amongst the three, and the wow plays are certainly there. Anybody who attends practice, whether you're in the the media viewing portion at the beginning like we were yesterday, or you're talking to people who were able to attend the entire practice, they say, you know, Keelan Russell just does things that the other two guys simply can't do. But he's a true freshman. They're only putting so much on his plate. They don't want to overload him. They want him to, you know, keep his confidence, that swagger that he plays with. And, I mean, he's responded extremely well, but I just think that they're bringing him along slowly. You know, I think with the way that Ty Simpson has been playing, with the way that, you know, the fact that they believe in Austin Mack, I don't think there's any sort of rush to get Keelan Russell in a position where he's ready to play. But I think when things finally do start clicking for him, I don't think that's probably going to happen by week one. I fully expect, you know, probably Ty Simpson, potentially Austin Mack, but I would fully expect one of those two guys to be the starting quarterback in Tallahassee. But the more comfortable and confident that Keelan Russell gets as far as adjusting to life in the SEC, I mean, it's going to be that much more difficult to keep him off the field. So for now, I would say Ty Simpson's in a really good position. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he ended up hanging on to the starting job all year, because I do think he's going to be effective. But, you know, he's probably going to have to go through a 2017-esque season like Jalen Hurts did back in 2017, where he had to constantly look over his shoulder at Tua Tagovailoa. So that's just something that he's going to have to deal with. That's part of it. But I think it's a good position for Alabama to be in.
I hear Clint saying Keelan Russell package. How many times are we going to ask about that? I got to have a package for Keelan Russell. Get him on the field. We'll be asked that, Clint. Get ready for that one. Clint Lamb, covercrimson.com. Covercrimson.com is the website. He's with us on the Shunnarah hotline. Other than Keelan Russell, another newcomer, transfer portal, early enrollee that has caught eyes. Is there one?
Oh, yes. That's one thing about this group that I know that the coaching staff's been extremely impressed with. And I think the difference between last year and this year is that last year, you know, you hear about Zabian Brown being a guy who is, you know, probably going to need to be a contributor. You heard about Jalen Mbakwe there at corner as well. Might end up being a contributor in year one. You heard about Ryan Williams as fall camp progressed. Hey, you're probably going to see a lot of Ryan Williams early. But it felt more so like now, granted, I'm not saying they weren't talented enough to do that, but it felt more out of necessity because they really needed help in the secondary. They needed a more dynamic presence at receiver. This year, the guys who are standing out, it's like Dijon Lee has been running with the first team defense. Now, granted, Damani Jackson is out for the spring, starting cornerback. But you have Cam Calhoun who came in from Utah, and the coaching staff really likes him. We kind of thought he would be the one working opposite Zabian Brown. Instead, it's been the true freshman Dijon Lee. And the guy's just making plays in a variety of ways, every way imaginable. Interceptions, forced fumbles, tackles for loss, sacks, pass breakups, towering presence at 6'4", 197 pounds, and just has been extremely impressive in his ability to not only pick up the defense, but be able to apply the principles. The movement for being a guy his size has been extremely impressive. But you look at that cornerback room compared to a year ago, and it's like if he plays, if he ends up being a big-time contributor, it's not going to be because Alabama has to have him. It's because he's been that good. We've heard that about other guys too, like Latsir Brooks. That wide receiver room is in as good of shape as I've seen in quite some time. You hear about Jalen Hill. You hear about Rico Scott, Jalen Mbakwe now playing receiver. Hear about him, Cole Adams. Obviously, you got the top three guys that we talk about a ton. And yet Latsir Brooks keeps doing things where it's like, is the coaching staff going to be able to keep him off the field in 2025? You know, Ivan Taylor is another one. They got three really good starting safeties. Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb, Zay Mincy. I feel like he could be a starter after starting the bowl game, did some really good things. And yet a guy like Ivan Taylor, the son of Ike Taylor, has come in. He's got the size at 6 foot, 195 pounds. Showed advanced football IQ, which we were fully anticipating from him, being the son of a former longtime NFL cornerback. And he's just he's been making a ton of plays. Great instincts, great balanced skill set, and that vision-oriented defense of Kane Womix. And, I mean, I really do feel like he's going to – will he end up overtaking any of those other three guys? Probably not, but he's going to be in the mix. He's going to get some playing time as that fourth safety, in my opinion. And so, I mean, just across the board – Alabama's got a really good blend right now of some veteran guys who you kind of trust, you can rely on. They understand what it takes, but then these young guys who are kind of filling in the gaps, elevating the bottom of your depth chart a little bit, pushing some other guys down. And I think that's only going to benefit Alabama. It's been a very pleasant surprise with how many guys, you know, Keelan Russell stood out, Justin Hill stood out, Abdul Sanders at linebacker, Jackson Lloyd's done some really good things at offensive tackle. It's like, across the board, they got some players in this freshman class who I think are going to make an impact.
Clint, this might be an obvious answer. I'm going to ask the question anyway. For Kane Womack, though, bigger loss defensively, Jihad Campbell or Malachi Moore?
Ooh, man, that's – I would actually see, the thing about Malachi Moore is I feel like he was the heart and soul of the defense.
Experience, too. I mean, what did the guy play in 60 games?
100%. I mean, that's so – from a leadership standpoint, the fact that he had just seen so much football, he was kind of a field general on the third level of your defense. That's tough to replace. But at the same time, I mean, talking about those safeties, I think Bray Hubbard's going to be one of the best safeties in college football. I think Keon Sabb is probably right now looking at like a, late day 2 draft projection. If he can get a little bit better as far as playing with his hair on fire, being a little bit more aggressive, coming downhill with the proper pad level, doing some of those things. He's got a great skill set, but then Zay Mincy, former 5-star talent, you love what he brings to the table. So it's like, despite the fact that they're replacing Malachi Moore from a talent standpoint and impact on the field standpoint, I don't know. I feel like they're in pretty good shape there. I also feel like they're in pretty good shape at off-ball linebacker once you get Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson back. But it just feels like Jihad Campbell's versatility to be that chess piece where you could kind of kick him out on passing downs, let him get after the quarterback, very effective in that way. Rangy sideline-to-sideline defender with a lot of length and prototypical closing speed and all that stuff. It's like, I mean, I think Alabama, a guy like Nakai Hill-Green, who they brought in is to kind of be that replacement third off-ball linebacker. He is a much more consistent guy when it comes to the run fits and doing that side of it, but just everything that Jihad Campbell brought to Alabama's defense, while they are going to greatly miss both players, and they are definitely going to miss Malachi Moore's passion and leadership, I think when you talk about the on-field impact, probably I would go with Jihad Campbell.
Clint Lamb is with us, covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com, the website where you can go subscribe. I do that. Unbelievable information you get. And then you can watch the shows on the Cover Crimson YouTube channel. I did that last night, which allows me to ask this question in an intelligent way. If I told you Proctor, Newberry, Brailsford, Roberts, and Formby left to right, I think I heard you threw those names out in that order last night. What makes me like this offensive line maybe better than last year's offensive line?
Well, I think, first of all, it's really tough to get the experience multi-year guys who have all played together. So the fact that you've got Caden Proctor, Brailsford, and Jaden Roberts, that's a majority of your offensive line who all are coming back from last year. You got a guy like Wilkin Formby who played a lot of football last year, including a couple of starts, or at least one start, and was obviously it wasn't great in that game against USF, but I think he really improved over the course of the season once he started platooning with Elijah Pritchett. It's like that's 4 offensive linemen out of the 5 that was there last season who actually played quite a bit of football. And then you got Geno Vandemark, who is another guy who it's like if they decide to go in that direction, which is certainly possible, he played a ton of snaps last year, including getting a start for an injured Jaden Roberts at one point. So I really like that aspect of it. I think the continuity factor is big time. You keep your offensive line coach and Coach Cap. And, a guy like Cam Dewberry, is he going to be the leader, and does he have the high-end NFL talent like a Tyler Booker? No. But I think he has some similarities as far as like the run blocking. He's not as powerful. He's not as much of a bully. Big guy, can move people in the run game, but not to the extent, in my opinion, of Tyler Booker. But I think he's a little bit better of a space mover. You pull and get him out in space, and really that's a lot of what you see in Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb's offense, a lot of pinning and pulling, getting guys out there in space. And I think Cam Dewberry's a little bit better at that. And I just think that this offensive line, like I said, in this transfer portal era, it's all about, development, allowing guys to gel together, continuity and things like that. And you've got other programs that are losing a lot of offensive line talent. Alabama's getting some key guys back. I think, the fact that you are talking about Cam Dewberry, that guy's played quite a bit of football in the SEC. So while it's going to take him some time to get used to playing in Tuscaloosa, I think he's ahead of the curve as far as a lot of these other guys. And plus, you start talking about some of the depth options. We're hearing great things about Will Sanders. We're hearing good things about Jackson Lloyd. Olasolinen, he's been starting at left tackle with Caden Proctor out this spring. had kind of a rough first scrimmage, but you saw tremendous growth from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. Probably going to provide an inside-out option, better fit on the interior, but the fact that he's making improvements at tackle, that has to make you feel a little bit better about the depth there on the outside. But just the collective group in general, while they are losing probably one of, if not their most, their best NFL talents along the offensive line, I think the collective unit as a whole is probably going to be a little bit more effective, a little bit better. And we don't talk about it enough, but Caden Proctor made significant improvement from year 1 to year 2. The number of pressures, the number of sacks allowed. I mean, I think he went from allowing 36 pressures to 14, went from allowing 12 sacks to 3. Obviously played, fewer pass blocking snaps, but he showed tremendous improvement. I would fully expect him to take another step forward. So you still got a lot of talent, and you still got a lot of continuity there, and so I think they're going to be a really good group up front.
At Clint R. Lamb is where you follow Clint on social media, and go sign up, covercrimson.com. A lot of free content there as far as the shows go that are all really, really good, as Jim said, and then the message board there with a lot of content that sometimes only makes it on the message board. That's why it's key from what Clint sees at practice and hears. And Mick and all the guys, Clint R. Lamb on social media and covercrimson.com. Clint, thank you very much for the time. Have a great week.
Absolutely, fellas. Good talking to you guys.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Clint with us on the Shunnarah Hotline. Alexander Shunnarah, Trial Attorneys, brings you the hotline.
Hey, and our show being brought to you in part by a new sponsor, our friends at Lags Eatery. We debate best burger in town all the time, but this one's in the conversation.
I'm told.
Yeah, look, you guys are going to love it. I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, me and Bo had an opportunity to go by Lags. First of all, I grew up around Lags Eatery right there on Broadway in Homewood. My ex-wife used to live right over the hill on Salter Road. We'd walk down, you get lunch there. They had a fantastic shake. They've got cold beer now. They've got a bologna sandwich done away that you will absolutely love. But the food is incredible. Look, they've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night. So, like, if you're one of those that maybe you're working a second or a third shift, you want to grab something to eat, they're open till 2 a.m. a lot of nights here. They've got a great Sunday brunch that starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Well, what if I'm working late night at, say, at the Finnick, getting my dance on? I can swing by there on the way home?
You can swing by on the way home, get you a burger and a cold beer.
All right.
Just get your Uber to pull you in, run in there, get a burger and a cold beer. Just fantastic food. Great guys. Had the opportunity to sit down with Eric and Justin, they're Homewood guys as well. They wanted to bring back the nostalgic Lags Eatery. They worked there for years as kids. It's right there on 3rd. I'll give you I'm trying to get, it's 3rd Avenue South. It's in Avondale. Best way to describe it is between the Cahaba and the Avondale breweries. It's a stone's throw away from Mom's Basement, like pitching wedge. You could crack Mom's Basement right there on the backside. They also want to remind you they're big Braves fans. They've got a huge TV out back, beautiful patio, and they're going to be having happy hour during every single Braves game this year. So stop into Lags, go see our friends, Eric and Justin. Tell them the Next Round sent you. Grab one of those delicious burgers. Grab a bologna sandwich. Grab a cold beer for lunch, for dinner, late night brunch. They've got it all right there at Lags.
Yeah, so we can go. Happy hour extends however long the Braves play.
Right.
Oh, wow. How about that? Yeah. Extra innings.
They go. What was the pitcher that hit the walk-off?
Rick Camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bob Horner was on that team. I was about to say Rick Camp.
But they'll keep it rolling. And we're going to be doing a show out there coming up. We'll give you more details when we figure that out. But I just love nostalgic brands after years and years and years coming back. And if you grew up in Homewood, you know exactly what I'm talking about with Lags.
Our friends at Michelson also brings you the viewing menu today. We got to do that before we get to trash coming up in just a few moments. Michelson.
205-969-8100. That is the number to call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the Next Round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Now 2015 vision. Better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. For more information, you can always go online. Go to michelsonlaservision.com.
Got a couple new releases today, as well as a movie playing on TV tonight. First up, you got a new Netflix documentary called Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. In this eye-opening documentary expose, teens and parents revealed disturbing accounts of abuse and exploitation within the world of child influencers. I think that the family YouTube channel, children toy review channel will be the next child actor sort of phenomenon we get.
I could see that because their parents keep all their money. They push it to do them.
That Ryan kid, Ryan's World.
Yeah, he makes
He made a fortune off that, or his family
His parents did.
But does this also take the angle of like adolescence, the show we were talking about, and the cyberbullying that's going on? I know the Ole Miss girl's doing a bunch of interviews right now, and there's a lot of lawsuits pending. But the cyberbullying thing is real deal. And some of these code words behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah,
you always think, hey, man, as a parent, I will not be fooled. I know every trick in the book. Social media has changed that.
Yep, but if you're interested in that, you got a new documentary tonight. 7 p.m. FXM, a movie that's been recommended to me a lot, The Menu, with Ray Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy. A young couple travels to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises.
Very creative. I think you would like it. Well done. Visually, very good, too.
I've been meaning to watch it. And then finally tonight, we've got an early access screening for a movie that comes out later this week called Drop. It's a horror movie or thriller movie produced by Blumhouse, and it centers around a widowed mother's first date in years, taking a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous threatening messages on her phone during their upscale dinner, leaving her questioning if her charming date is behind the harassment.
I am just shocked at how much horror is out there. That seems to be the number one genre.
Well, Blumhouse has made it their sort of mission and business model to spend no more than like $1.5 million, $2 million on actually making the movie, but then they'll spend $5 to $10 to $15 in marketing. Yeah.
Wow.
So they always get a return.
That is what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Also, the show today brought to you by our friends at NASCAR. Brownie, tell us about NASCAR as we hit the top of the hour.
TalladegaSuperspeedway.com is where you go to get tickets as NASCAR returns to the Talladega Superspeedway. It is the Jack Links 500 weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 25th through 27th. If you've never been, you are missing out. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every single turn, April 25th through 27th. The Jack Links 500 NASCAR weekend, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Celebrate the best time of year, tournament time, with MyBookie.ag. Sign up right now with code NEXTROUND and receive a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip. Tournament time is here, so enjoy it even more by playing along at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND on your initial deposit for a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip. Don't get caught by the buzzer. Sign up now at MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Birmingham's fastest party returns to Barber Motorsports Park May 2nd through 4th. Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst. Experience 3 days of high-speed action featuring the fastest drivers in the world from the IndyCar Series. Enjoy the Kids Zone, food trucks, beer garden, Ferris wheel, fan zone, and more. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now.
If you are a business that does a lot of printing, like a car dealership, mortgage company, real estate office, tax office, bank, school, or university, print more and spend less with ImageCraft. ImageCraft is located at 1151 Gadsden Highway in Trussville, just down from the Pinnacle Shopping Center, and online at imagecraft.net. They carry all the major brands like HP, Brother, Canon, Dell, Lexmark, Konica Minolta, Kyocera, Ricoh, Sharp, and Xerox. Shop in store, mention TNR for a 10% discount. Shop online at imagecraft.net with coupon code TNR10. ImageCraft. Print more, spend less.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. They always bring you this final hour. They always deliver on lunch and dinner as well. If you want an easy pickup, you just go to champyschicken.com and swing through the Highway 119 store right there that Sterling owns. It is an easy pickup process there. Take it home or back to work, but a great dine-in experience as well. They have the wonderful atmosphere that Sterling has curated over a decade there at the same location. There are other Champies in the world, but nothing like the one in Alabaster that Sterling has put together. That chicken's brined overnight. It's cooked to order. It's never under a lamp. It's piping hot when it comes out. Hand-cut chicken fingers and so much more. ChampysChicken.com. And also, LT, by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, not only if you've got like a birthday, something coming up, you don't need necessarily a special event. You can just take care of the wife or girlfriend at Birmingham's Best Day Spa. They're conveniently located right there at the Summit Shopping Center. You can stop in, see Stuart and that great staff, tell them the next round sent you. But easier, you can order gift cards 24/7 online. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to leave your office. They'll send it right to you. Then you give it to the wife or girlfriend, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, and let her choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail service. Woodhouse Day Spa, again, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Renovations up there. It's going to blow you away. It's a beautiful location. Stop in, see Stuart and the fine folks. Tell them the next round sent you.
All right. Pull out your dry erase boards. We're going to talk a little college football, Alabama and Auburn here, and we're going to do it with our Instagram, TikTok.
The old blind ranking.
The blind ranking. You always jump in right before I finish that sentence.
Well,
every
it
time.
seems like you're struggling.
I will say the last one we did.
I'll let people know where it's coming from. You get it on social media.
Right. Okay, everything's stolen.
Right.
Last week, I think I had my best list. It's the only one I felt great about. One
was good.
One through 6 or 7.
I just don't know where you guys are on getting ready for the college football season yet, so this may be tougher for you.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready.
I'm ready.
1 through 6.
Okay.
1 through 6. I'm going to give you 6 position groups, 3 for Alabama, 3 for Auburn. and I want you to rank where you have the most confidence in that position group and the least confidence in that position group. Does everybody understand what I'm asking here? Studio audience?
I would feel better about this in August, but
we'll
we can do it in
now.
April.
Maybe revisit in August.
Way too early. Yes,
way too early. Blind ranking.
But the expectations. All right. We'll keep it simple. We'll start with quarterback. Auburn quarterback room on a scale of 1 to 6. Where are you on the confidence level of the Auburn quarterbacks going into the 2025 season?
I'm going to put it 4th, Lance.
I was going to go 3rd.
I'm going to go 4th simply because I've not seen Jackson Arnold play good football. I am told Jackson Arnold can play good football, and I understand that there were issues that were preventing him from doing that at Oklahoma that would have affected almost any quarterback. No receivers and a bad offensive line, but I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, and if you were just going Auburn quarterback, I would feel better about this maybe.
Okay,
but,
Auburn quarterback, whoever the starter is.
I'll still go number 3 because I do believe that Jackson Arnold has a high ceiling. And I think Hugh Freeze could ultimately bring out the best in that. And these young receivers, I mean, look, we've seen flashes, but I think they're going to get better and better.
When I say quarterback room, I mean quarterback.
Everything's
only one position at a time. Okay, so I'll back that up. Alabama quarterback or quarterback rooms. Where's your confidence level 1 to 6?
I mean, I'm going to have to go 2 because I can't have them behind Auburn.
Why?
Well, just because
we're the Bama Ham media?
No, I believe Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb getting back together. You're just going to have, even when you had the Jalen Milroe experience that was so up and down. I mean, when it was up, it was up. I think you'll get more consistency. You might not get those highs, but you'll get more consistency. So I'm going 2.
I only put them where I'm putting them. I struggle with this. I went 5th. I could easily flip these. I've seen nothing of Alabama's quarterbacks. I mean, at least I've seen Jackson Arnold. It hasn't been great, but I've at least seen it, so I got to feel what he's like as a starter.
You saw Ty Simpson drop a ball, Deshaun Jackson-like, right?
Did see that. I haven't seen Keelan Russell play. I'm fascinated with him, but I've never seen him take a snap of college football, obviously. I really haven't seen Austin Mack play. Have you seen him play?
No. Sure.
I mean, I didn't watch. I don't know how many. I don't know off the top of my head how many snaps he got at Washington. But
he's big. He's got a big foot.
He's a tall kid. Reese Davis told us on the show he could spin it, but I hadn't seen him play. So I've seen none of these Alabama quarterbacks play significant.
I still have a lot of confidence in what Kalen DeBoer does at the quarterback position.
I do too. I'm with you on that.
I'm going to tell you that this next thing I throw out here may be the best room at both schools.
Okay.
Confidence on the Alabama secondary.
I knew that's where you're going, and it's number 1 for me.
Yeah, I was going to go number 1 too.
Yeah.
Man, you just heard Clint, how he was raving.
Yeah. They're deep at safety. I think they're going to be good at corner. Yeah, I mean, I like Keon Sabb. Ray Hubbard is one of the most probably underrated players.
You said Hubbard's going to be one of the best safeties in football.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of people believe that.
I've seen people nationally say that. Like, you watch this Ray Hubbard kid, he can play. And you heard Roman Harper. He was one of the first people to say it. So, yeah, that was. I was going to hold number 1 for you to say Alabama
I'm all
secondary.
used up now.
You really are.
Yeah.
Maybe the best room at Auburn is the Auburn secondary room. Where do you put them?
I would tend to disagree with you that it is their best room.
Now I'm just throwing it against the wall. I'm going to go 5.
I'm going to go 3rd because I'm holding number 2 for one I think you're going to get to. I would put in front of this.
I'm telling you, the Auburn secondary is.
I don't think it's their best room.
Is toe to toe with one I'm going to name here in a second.
Well, then I'm going to go ahead and put it. Is it next? Because I can go ahead and start writing if it's next.
Yeah. The Auburn wide receiver.
That's number 2.
Yeah, I've got to go 4.
Yeah, you've done a poor list here, haven't you? You already regret it.
Yeah. But you know what? We're going to redo it in August, and that's going to be our final look.
I mean, 3 through 5, I don't know, but that is number 1 and that is number 2.
Yeah.
And I could argue that is number 1 and that is number 2.
I do feel better about either receiver room than quarterback rooms.
Yeah.
So I have done a poor list.
Yeah. Auburn wide receivers and Alabama secondary, I think, are your 2 best overall rooms of the 2.
And the last one is the Alabama wide receiver.
Yeah, and if I was drafting a player on both rosters, 1 overall, I would go Ryan Williams, and I've got him at 6. So I'm going to scrap my list.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. I went way too high on the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I did too.
So, as I hope this doesn't just be this not just a screenshot that I'm going to explain again. We don't know what Jim's going to give us.
Yeah, we don't.
We're
I thought we were going pizza toppings today.
Yeah, so when you go Alabama wide receivers at 6, I don't think they're worse than any of those, okay? It's just the way the game's played. I do enjoy the game, though, Jim.
I'm just saying that there's some talented rooms there, and I think some of them, my point of this being, some of them get maybe not as much hype as they should. I'm glad you guys respect the very long, lengthy Alabama secondary room, and I'd love to hear if anybody who, Auburn fans in the chat, I think you've got to fall in love with that Auburn secondary too. That is, to me, the best part of their defense.
Okay, best part of their defense I would give you, yes.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's overall better than their receiver room. I think Auburn's receiver room is the best part of that team.
Yeah.
Now, Jackson Arnold's got to get him the football. And we didn't see that from Jackson Arnold at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think I bought
into most of his receivers were hurt.
Yeah, if we're going most improved position, it might be quarterback.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Jackson Arnold over Peyton Thorne?
Yeah.
You guys didn't know what I was going to ask you.
That is correct.
Of the 6 units I gave you, pick a room, either school, but they are 5 and 6, the quarterbacks.
I wish I had put them last.
Both schools' secondaries and I think both schools' receiving cores are better than their quarterbacks.
Agree. I think I would right now put Alabama's offensive line in front of their quarterbacks, or in front of either quarterbacks. I don't know about Auburn's just yet.
Yeah. So too early to say which unit you're concerned most about. But I would probably go defensive line at both schools. Just me.
Maybe.
Just me.
Yeah.
Because we're used to elite defensive lines.
Well,
and you got to have elite defensive lines in the SEC.
Don't know if any of these position groups were elite at either school last year, right? You had elite players.
Well, I mean.
But no, you didn't.
So you're just talking about secondaries and receivers, or any of the ones that we did?
Yeah, you were pretty good at linebacker at Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lawson and Campbell.
Yeah. Jefferson was pretty good. He's coming back. Lawson's coming back. Both coming.
We just talked about Alabama's receiver room earlier. It had two good guys at the top, but it just didn't have the depth it needed at receiver room. Auburn's receiving room, Cam Coleman was a bit of a slow starter, came on late.
Jarquez Hunter is going to be a 3rd-round draft pick.
Yeah, at running back. I thought Alabama was good at running back across the board. I don't know if they had a great running back.
Didn't think so.
But they were good.
They were good. I think even with the talent that Ryan Williams is and as consistent as Jeremy Bernard was, it was like the worst production you've had from receivers in a long time. The same with running backs.
Yeah, because of the quarterback. The style he played, and you couldn't get him the ball. Back to some more basketball stuff and some stuff happening in the NFL. After we remind you, the show today being brought to you by our friends at ImageCraft. Brownie, ImageCraft?
ImageCraft.net is the website to go to. They want you to print more and spend less at ImageCraft. And the way they do that is they help you save on printer and copier supplies. They carry all the major brands: HP, Brother, Canon, Dell, Lexmark, Konica Minolta, Kyocera, Ricoh, Sharp, and Xerox. They offer free same-day delivery on all in-stock items to the Birmingham Metro. Free same-day delivery to Birmingham Metro. And free shipping outside the area. Now, great way to save. Go in the store in Trussville right there. As soon as you walk in, just yell next round. All right, they'll know what you're talking about, and they'll give you 10% off. It's very close to the Pinnacle Shopping Center there in Trussville. Go to imagecraft.net. You don't have to yell there. Just type in TNR10. Save 10% at imagecraft.net. ImageCraft. Print more. Spend less.
Hey, and it's springtime out there. It's time to get the heating and cooling checked as well. The cooling system with our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
Yeah, Hemp Hill wants to remind you this spring you've got to get everything checked out, and they've got a really good deal going on for you right now from our friends at Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. Spring weather is here. Friends at Hemp Hill offering that $1,000 off new HVAC install, 0% financing. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent Trane dealer since 1954. The team service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call the guys today, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a Trane. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
1,000 off?
1,000 off.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And yeah, if you both have had it done, right?
Oh yeah.
So you know how quick it can, that money can start adding up.
1,000 off is good. I don't care what it is. 1,000 off anything is good, right? If I'm buying a car, 1,000 off is good. I love that.
That is true. Yes,
I love that right there. Okay, we're just wrapping up the basketball season. The Wall Street Journal, with March Madness ending, did the most valuable college basketball programs in America. The most valuable, according to the Wall Street Journal, college basketball programs in America. The ones that make the most money for their schools and stuff, and that kind of such. Forrester's the one that brought this list to us. Do you think Alabama and Auburn, either one of them, are in the top 30?
In the top 30, yes.
Of the most valuable basketball programs.
I mean, just initially, you think Duke, Kansas, Kentucky.
Can I
list in a second?
Yeah.
Do you think any of them in the top 20?
Can I ask you a question you may not know the answer
Forrester
to?
will know the answer. Can I get
All right,
Forrester's
can I ask
microphone?
Forrester a question he may not know the answer to?
Okay.
Do they attribute a portion of the TV revenue to this program, Scott? Do you know? Do they say Alabama basketball was 10% of the TV revenue? I don't know if there's a way you can do that, right?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Okay.
They've got, I guess they're ranking it on enterprise value.
Okay, so this is not like total budget.
Yeah.
It's not like Gonzaga obviously would be different based on budget compared to.
This would be your typical business valuation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What it's worth if it was being sold on the open market.
Right. But technically, each school brings the same amount of TV revenue. Kentucky is different than South Carolina, right? But the SEC schools all get the same amount of money from their TV contract.
right.
So that's hard to figure that in. I would say Alabama and Auburn are in the top 20.
You think they're in the top 20?
I don't think they're in the top 20. I think they're in the top 30. I think both are.
Brown, do you think they're in the top 10?
I do not. Now, again, I don't know what all is factored into this, but the deeper you go in the tournament, the more checks you make. And Alabama and Auburn just both went very deep in the tournament. And Alabama has gone very deep 2 straight years.
Yeah, that's
a lot of checks.
That goes into, I think, the SEC pool
it
is
does.
split
See,
out.
that's the confusing thing. Arizona basketball is still traditionally better than either. But where is Arizona basketball based on conference affiliation?
That's right.
First page, top 10, Wall Street Journal. North Carolina, cash flow 23 million plus, revenue 38 million plus, enterprise value $378 million. Duke is second. No surprise, right?
Yeah, North Carolina, Duke, those are your easy answers.
Look at Duke's revenue, by the way.
In 40. Oh wow, they 47
their
million.
revenue's not even close to anybody else's.
Yeah, 10 million more than North Carolina.
So I know,
put that in your tobacco road pipe and smoke it.
I know those tournament paychecks go into a kitty, but I bet you're getting credit for how much you brought in.
Yeah,
if I had to guess, but I don't know.
Here we go. Indiana is third.
Boy, I tell you.
And if I don't know who Indiana's AD is, but when you're looking for a coach, that's what you throw out there, right?
That's right. If my revenue is 34 million, my cash flow is 12.9 million. I should have some NIL money.
Yep.
The next one, number 4, Ohio State. We talked yesterday about how that program always is underachieving.
Now, is that the main campus of Ohio State?
It is main campus of Ohio State. Yeah.
Thad Matta had it dialed in for a few years,
somewhat.
And then it just completely. I don't understand Ohio State basketball.
Yeah. 34.1 million in revenue in Ohio State basketball is an afterthought. Louisville is 5. There's your Arizona at 6. Syracuse is 7. The Illinois Urbana-Champaign, that's the main Illinois.
Yeah, that's main campus.
Is 8. Probably higher than I thought it was going to be. I don't know about you guys. Illinois at 8.
Yeah, they're kind of an afterthought. Brad Underwood's done a nice job there, but I just don't think of them that much.
Finally, we get to the SEC. Kentucky, 22 million on the cash flow there. That is on that first page, second only to North Carolina. 33 million in revenue.
I'm going to guess having a outsized arena. It's not outsized because they fill it up, but a large arena helps in cash flow.
Arkansas is 10, so he left a top 10 to go to a top 10, and this is from the Wall Street Journal. Page 2, do we find Alabama and Auburn here? quickly through these. Kansas, Michigan, Michigan State, UConn at 14. Minnesota, 15.
Wow. Boy, they do nothing in basketball.
Wait on 17. 16 is Villanova. Number 17, Dayton. 16 million cash flow, 28.1 million revenue, and the enterprise value at $157 million.
I will say, in athletic terms, just in sports terms, one of the biggest casualties of COVID was Anthony Grant. They were a absolute one seed. An absolute one seed.
Obi Toppin, player of the year. I mean, they were really good.
That was such a good team that lost a tournament.
Wall Street Journal, most valuable college basketball programs. Texas, 18. Georgetown, 19. Hard to believe that's still there. And Purdue, main campus, Brown, 20.
I'm glad it's the main campus, Purdue.
Third page.
Villanova is interesting based on the fact that Jay Wright bolted and then obviously Willard taking that job.
Look at their cash flow, though. It's only $3.5 million. Everyone else is way over that. UConn's $124 million.
They get a great return, though.
Yeah, but do you think that cash flow, like, I don't know what all's going into the cash flow, but ticket sales has to be part of it. Villanova plays in a cracker box, don't they? I know they play some of the games in the Sixers arena, but their home venue is very, very small.
Forrester, I'm only assuming that they left off 3 zeros there after UConn. Is their cash flow $124,000? Surely that's not right. That's just a misprint.
I mean, there are several of those that are listed like that, and I'm not sure what's going on there.
Maybe.
But this was taken straight off Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I would. So their cash flow is different than what's going on.
Certainly not. They didn't leave off 3 zeros because it's certainly not $124 million.
Yeah. Page 3. Alabama just missing the top 20. $7.7 million in cash flow, 22.6 revenue. The enterprise value $145 million for basketball at Alabama.
I mean, that's the Nate Oats effect. It's really all you could say. They did not have this.
Would you sell?
Yes.
Ahead of Gonzaga.
They did not have this cash flow when Avery Johnson and Anthony Grant were there, I'm sure.
Hey, our buddy Michael Alford, who runs Florida State, impressive there with the FSU basketball program at 23.
Mm-hmm.
Marquette 24, NC State 25, Wisconsin 26. There's Auburn. $4 million on the cash flow compared to Alabama's 7.7. Same on the revenue, roughly. The valuation's a little different, 145 to 132. Auburn's ahead of Iowa State, UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, and Xavier. That's your top 30 most valued basketball programs from the Wall Street Journal.
I'll say this about UCLA at number 29 with the expense they incur, and boy, I tell you, Mick Cronin has bitched about this endlessly. And their travel, I mean, a revenue of $17 million, they can burn through that in a hurry because they're having to come cross country a lot.
Wouldn't you think? I agree, but wouldn't you think what they make up going to the Big Ten more than
you
pays
would think,
for that?
Yeah, the
and
TV
more
money
than justifies it.
The TV money, but man, that is. $17 million for the charters they're having to take. You can burn through $17 million in a hurry.
One more big note to make in this segment before we take our next break, after we remind you the show being brought to you today in part by our friends at MyBookie. Brownie, tell us about MyBookie.
Code Next Round is what you use when you sign on at mybookie.ag. Code Next Round. You can play the Masters. You can play the PGA Tour weekly there, but the Masters right now, you can play Major League Baseball. If you want to play the Masters, Scotty Scheffler now plus 400, so he's 4-1 to win the Masters. Rory McIlroy about 5.5 to 1 plus 560. You can play all of that right there at mybookie.ag, code next round. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Dunaway's pick, Colin Morikawa, fourth best in the odds at plus 1250. Lance's pick was McIlroy plus 560. My guy is Shane Lowry. He's 31 to 1. I'm going dark horse. Shane Lowry, 31 to 1. Bring it home, big guy.
How many
make the cut?
How many guys on the tour wear glasses?
Akshay Bhatia is the one I can immediately think of. Not many.
You know why? Because they get LASIK done.
Do they?
And the smart ones, they go to Michelson Laser Vision, 205-969-8100. It really is. It's like a big deal in Major League Baseball. How many of these guys get LASIK done? Because the technology's proven it tried, and if you're looking for the best in the business, in my opinion, is Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, true pioneer in the business, first performed the LASIK procedure back in 1995, I got the procedure done in 2003. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The Next Round sent you. They are going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Our friends at the Field of 68 say 4 basketball programs are thriving in the portal right now. 2 of them are in the ACC.
Louisville
is number 1.
Yeah, Pat Kelsey's killed it in the portal. Had a better than expected year, even though they went out in the first round. To Creighton, better than expected year 1.
I don't even know who number 2 would be.
Syracuse is number 4 on the list. Number 2 is a Big East school. You'll never get it, but Providence.
Oh, okay.
And number 3 is an SEC school. Who do you think it is?
Kentucky.
They've been active.
Would have been a great guess, or is a great guess.
Yeah.
It's not right, but I would imagine they're just off the top 4.
I mean, LSU was the one that was supposedly going to spin
LSU.
big. Yeah.
According to the Field of 68, it's LSU. But to your point yesterday, LT, Kentucky got, and this is how they write it at Field of 68, rarely are you able to get a lottery pick in the portal. But that Kentucky got it yesterday in Jaden Quaintance, who was an original Kentucky signee with Calipari, was going to be one and done at Kentucky. But when Calipari left, he went to Arizona State. He got injured, and now he's going to Kentucky, where he is a 6'9" guy with a 7'3" wingspan, can create his shot, run the floor. Had an ACL. He's a Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Jaden Quaintance. And everyone is saying that he is the guy that Mo Diabate now will have to play behind. That was the reaction on social media.
So basically, Mo Diabate's transferring to be a role player again.
Yeah, but if you're Diabate, again, I think he could play himself into being on a lot of big boards in the NBA.
Right.
But if you're told, hey, I'm going to pay you 7 figures to come in and be our 6th man.
All right. Yeah, I'm in.
Well, I mean, money talks, right? Money talks.
How on the radar is the Braden Burries kid, the combo guard that's making his announcement in 15 minutes, and it's between Arizona, Tennessee, Oregon, USC, and
Arkansas?
Alabama.
Is it Alabama?
Oh.
No, I don't know who it is. He makes the announcement in 15 minutes. We'll get it to you.
I got to go to the bathroom, then I got to be back for this.
But yeah, I mean, he's supposed to announce it
to pee
on ESPN. He's going to do it live on SportsCenter, so we'll know in 15 minutes. But they say he is a big-bodied combo guard that can play all 3 levels. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Forrester got a kick out of you saying he said to go pee.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification there, Jim.
I just don't want to wet my pants if Alabama landed this guy I'd never heard of.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but I just know it was. I mean, they keep rolling on ESPN about to make his announcement. I know Alabama is one of the 5 finalists.
Can't wait to see that. A surprising television note when we come back. Trash that big announcement I didn't know anything about, and a lot more. The show being brought to you, Brownie. You guessed it, by our friends at Talladega NASCAR.
I've got a trash update, too. I got to follow up on a trash story yesterday. Yes. NASCAR is coming to the Talladega Superspeedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and incredible action at every turn is the Jack Links 500. That NASCAR weekend is coming up April 25th through 27th. Get your tickets now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Celebrate the best time of year, tournament time, with MyBookie.ag. Sign up right now, code NEXTROUND, and receive a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Plus, a $10 casino chip. Tournament time is here, so enjoy it even more by playing along at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND on your initial deposit for a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Plus, $10 casino chip. Don't get caught by the buzzer. Sign up now at MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster. Champy's Chicken. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, May 2nd through the 4th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, O'Ward, Dixon, and Newgarden will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness Miss America Abby Stockard give the most iconic command in all of racing as the Grand Marshal. May starts here. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours today.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Braves win last night. Not easy. 7-5. Chris Sale was getting knocked around a little bit. Settled down. And Braves offense came through. So big night for Sean Murphy. The catcher has returned. You can always catch up on the Braves and anything Major League Baseball. The Pennant Grace Tuesday and Thursdays at 12:15 live on our video platform here and wherever you get the show on podcast as well. And don't forget, you can catch up on all of today's show on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and Google Podcasts. And remember, it helps us out a lot, tremendously even, when you like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads there. I do that as well for all my favorite podcasts. Like I'll go there and catch up on Call Her Daddy or whatever. Same way with our show. Just do the automatic downloads. So please, I'm part of the daddy gang. You can laugh all you want.
What was the conversation today? How to use your finger in a pinch.
So please do all those things to make sure you don't miss anything. And we always say thank you very much for helping us out. Again, all you have to do is like, follow, subscribe, and turn on those automatic downloads wherever you get your podcast. The show today being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. If you're sitting there with your kids right now and riding around or watching and listening to us whenever you consume us, we appreciate you doing that. And you are always thinking about home with your kids and how to protect them. Well, it starts with a great sound foundation and roof, and Greg from Pell City can help you with that. Storm Restoration Roofing keeps that roof over your head and keeps it strong. As your kids grow up in that home, they'll remember as their home for a lifetime. He's got a big family as well. He understands what family's all about, and he'll help your family out with a free, no-cost roof inspection. Absolutely free, no obligation. Call the number 205-542-3531. 542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, and he'll help you with A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. He's great. He's got a builder's license, storm repairs. If you want some work done, he can do that for you. His honesty is where it starts, though, and he's got a great relationship with the insurance providers, so he can not only walk you through the process of making claims, but also, can tell you how to present it to an insurance company, and he'll look at your roof and be able to tell you, hey, man, it's time for a new roof, or you may want to wait 3 or 4 years on that. You can wait. Your roof's in fine shape. Whatever it is, Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing can help you with so many things, including storm repairs. It's that time of year here in the South. 205-542-3531 or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. I want to make a TV note before we get to trash. If you're waiting for some new TV times to come out for college football, some big announcements of when games will be played or if games will be moved or something, we're about a month away from getting a handful of releases of games, because on May 11th, 12th, and 13th are the big upfronts that the TV networks do, and live sports is a big part of that. So we'll, on the Fox up front, they will talk about some of their big college football games. On the ESPN ABC up front, they'll talk about, hey, we'll be at Alabama and Georgia in prime time, and game day will be there. They'll do that. So about a month away from I believe the next round of college football kick time.
It's where we got a lot of them last year. It used to be those would come out the week of SEC Media Day. It would be one of the SEC's big releases, is like the first 3 weeks. But you're right. Last year, it's where we found out almost all the big games. And that's always exciting to me. I always love seeing when those games are going to be played. Go and start making plans.
And in scripted shows, I'm still blown away by this, but it was announced earlier this week. Tyler, I don't know if your generation, I assume your generation does watch it. That's why it's still on.
Not The Simpsons.
But Grey's Anatomy.
That's crazy that's still on.
Has been picked up for season 22.
Are any of the only people I knew were the Sandra Oh, the Ellen Papama, whatever.
I think she's Grey.
That was Grey, and then Patrick Dempsey.
She's still on the show.
What about the
Catherine Heigl? 3 more people than I could have.
I tied this together because on Call Her Daddy, Grey, what's her name?
Ellen Pompeo.
She was on there.
Pompeo,
I think it's right. Yeah.
She was on there, and her daughter's a teenage daughter.
Okay.
High teens, 17, 16, whatever, maybe 15.
What is too old for a nurse to have sex in a closet?
Yeah,
because I mean that's part of the show, right?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But riding to school one day, the girl is putting something off the mom's phone, and she's like, "Oh my God, you've got an invitation to do Call Her Daddy," and the actress didn't know anything about the podcast, and she's like, "No, it's one of the more popular podcasts in the world. You've got to do this, Mom." And all my friends listen to it. You've got to do this, Mom. So, and she's like, "Well, but all your friends, they don't watch Grey's Anatomy." And she's like, "Are you kidding, Mom? We all watch it." And I didn't know.
That's when Mom goes, "Oh,
yeah." Well, no, more so Call Her Daddy. I'd rather you watch Grey's Anatomy than listen to Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, but I was surprised that scripted television show on ABC, year 22.
I mean, one of the most successful of all time at that rate.
Because Maggie and I watched it early on. The footnote I read said it was the longest running scripted show in ABC history.
Well, I could believe that.
I would probably prime time, because the soap operas would have to be a different category.
Yeah. Okay, it gets us to trash today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Tyler.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Okay, don't look at any of our screens, Dunaway or Brown. Who's throwing out the first pitch of the Mets game today?
I'd already seen it.
Because I was like, what in the hell is he doing there?
He looks cold and old.
He does.
Cold and old. I will go Billy Joel.
Nope, Rick Pitino.
Oh, he does look cold.
I mean,
and
I
old.
assume. I don't think he's just
he just showed up for
City
an interview
Field for the hell of it
on the MLB Network.
Hey, this submission, first trash story today from our man Scott Forster back there. 16-year-old junior varsity baseball player from New Mexico is facing charges, and his team's season is suspended after he allegedly urinated into the water jug of an opposing school.
Wow.
So you're not supposed to do this.
The student has not been identified by name, but players on the Rio Rancho High School junior varsity baseball team had their season suspended amid the ongoing investigation. Don't you just get rid of this kid and let the other guys play?
Yeah.
How do you punish everybody?
Rio Rancho.
Now, 16-year-old defendant facing 15 counts of battery after allegedly relieving himself into the water cooler belonging to La Cueva junior varsity baseball team. Albuquerque public school officials reportedly making additional resources available to the La Cueva players, according to multiple reports. They went on to say outrageous behavior like this must be met with swift consequences to send the message it's unacceptable and will not be tolerated.
Yeah, well, you can't cancel the season. You kick one kid to the curb. But the first thing, my counter lawsuit to this would be, I want to be back on the team, or I, along with the co-people, what do you call it, the co-defendants in our lawsuit, the wonderful folks at Colorado State University are suing you, Rio Rancho, for misuse and stealing of the logo of Colorado State.
First thing I saw, that way, I was like, Colorado State's going to file a suit, too.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
I don't remember this. You guys tell me if you remember. This is not the first time a student athlete in New Mexico has been accused of urinating
I didn't
on
know
a
it was New
rival's
Mexico, but I remember it.
property in
Yeah.
2023. New Mexico State quarterback Diego Pavia
That's right. Yeah.
appeared to be urinating on a rival New Mexico's practice field logo in a viral video.
Yep, that was in a bowl
I just
practice.
don't remember that.
I think it was New Mexico was in the bowl game that's at New Mexico, and they practiced at New Mexico State, and he took a whiz on the field during practice, if I remember the story right.
Yeah.
That's
New Mexico State's where he played. They were in the bowl game. It's played in New Mexico.
Okay, yeah, I said it opposite.
And he
You're right.
urinated on the New Mexico, the rivals
That is right.
logo.
Yeah.
He went Calvin and Hobbes on it.
He did, yes.
A drunk man wearing a pink wig, fake breast, and a pink thong was arrested Friday evening for causing a disturbance outside of an Applebee's.
That is one ugly woman in that.
I'm over here. Wait,
Oh,
I'm over
no.
here. You got me in both
Yeah,
places.
he's getting me dizzy right now just looking at him. Wow. Cops say Daniel Sorelio. You want to take a guess at this guy's age?
Daniel is going
I'm
to
gonna put him at
check in at 57.
Oh, no. I'm going to go 68.
Does not look good for his age. He's 49.
Oh.
There's no way.
Wow.
I'll
That's a
take-
hard 49.
By the way, I had him in the 60s.
I had him at 68.
Yeah. He was so intoxicated that he was, quote, unable to provide for his own safety and well-being as he was, quote, stumbling around the Applebee's parking lot
Welcome
in
to the
Clearwater,
Peak
Florida.
Pony Club.
Now, the, quote, extremely
Big
disoriented
Pony Club.
Sorello tried to enter a vehicle that did not belong to him. When questioned by deputies, Sorello was unable to answer basic questions such as, where are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where did you come from? And what state are you in?
I've been eating good in the neighborhood.
Drunk was his response. What state are you in? No.
I'm drunk.
Inebriation.
Accurate, though.
An arrest report does not offer further details about his clothing. Now, he was arrested for disorderly intoxication, booked into the county jail. Following a night in jail, he was freed from custody Saturday, ordered to pay a total of $570 in fines and court costs.
Man, when I was in Anniston, 1390 The Score, AM 1390 sports station over there, when I was at school at Jack State, did a show on there every day. And every Monday we would, with Budweiser and Bud Light, we would do our Monday Night Football show at, I do my Monday show at Applebee's. And they had a chicken dish there that was really good. And I can't remember, it was like...
when I worked there, Salsa Club Roll-Up in the mid-'90s was legit.
They had a chicken dish that was really, really good. I'd get it every Monday at that Applebee's. I mean, it was the perfect college guy remote. My food was free, my drink was free, and I got like $100 talent fee. Like, it was my favorite day of the week in college.
You had a good meal, a lot of Diet Coke.
And walked away with $100 in my pocket.
There was a time...
Fiesta Lime Chicken, Brown?
Yes, that was it.
All right.
What was it called?
Fiesta Lime
Fiesta
Chicken.
Lime Chicken. It was fantastic.
I know Applebee's still does a lot of business, but there was a time when these Fern restaurants first popped up and there wasn't a lot of options out there that people did consider Eating good in the neighborhood
That's
was
right.
a big night out.
Yep.
Minnesota woman who confessed in her personal journal that she, quote, totally stole a car today, pleaded guilty this afternoon to a felony charge according to court records. It's the way this went down. According to district court, Vanessa Guerrera, 30 years old, copping to receiving stolen property in connection with the theft last year of a 2004 Ford Freestar van. Now, a judge set Guerrera's sentencing for July 21st. Conviction carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. During an auto theft investigation, cops determined that the stolen van worth $2,000 had been sold for scrap by Guerrera.
That's not even grand theft auto, is it?
I wouldn't think with
It's a
2,000.
minimal theft auto.
Witnesses at the auto salvage business stated that Guerrera had brought in the van and sold it to him, according to the criminal complaint. During the police probe, an investigator was able to locate a journal belonging to Guerrera. Yeah, if you're going to keep a journal, don't incriminate yourself. She wrote in there, totally stole a car today, something I never thought of doing.
In her journal.
Super freaking out about it. Guerrera denied knowing anything about the vehicle being stolen. She was confronted by the sheriff's office investigator. While court records do not indicate how Guerrera's journal ended up in police's hands, it seems likely the item was seized during an execution of a search warrant.
Yeah. Did I have the search warrant before I went in? By the way, that big prospect LT told me about that mentioned Alabama on the list, went to Arizona.
He played for the Roosevelt Mustangs.
I went and peed for no reason.
By the way, SMU suing them.
His hat does not fit him.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of hair under that hat there, Lance.
Yep.
And finally, Brown,
we didn't want him anyway.
You got a story to add on the back end,
I do,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Well, I got one to add on the back end.
Update from
I'll
yesterday.
do my final one, and
All
then
right.
you guys can have it. On the surface of the moon, there are not only rocks, dust, and forgotten landers. There are also 96 bags of human feces, urine, vomit that Apollo astronauts left behind to lighten the weight of their spacecraft. Now,
Had to leave it somewhere.
Century later, NASA is looking for a solution to this type of, quote, biological legacy and is willing to pay up to $3 million for anyone who proposes the right technology to do it. I am going to say that this is where Elon Musk will enter at some point, right?
I would think he's already got the rockets.
Now, the challenge is called the Lunar Recycle Challenge. The deadline for submitting applications has just ended on March 31st. Now, the space agency preparing to analyze the proposals, select the most promising technologies. We could soon know the systems that will transform human waste and space junk into water, energy, fertilizer, or even a lunar building block.
We've already done the movie The Martian. We just use that system.
I mean, can't we just leave it behind? What's it really hurting?
Yeah, that's what we said about our planet to start with, Brown.
Well, nobody's going there anymore.
Yeah, but like if our planet was nothing but rocks and dust, I mean,
there's very few moon visitors this day and age.
Yeah, but eventually we're going to go back there. That's what they're talking about. We're not going back trying to clean up what we did in 1969.
look, Alabama fans that don't like Coleman Coliseum, the lighting on the moon is worse.
Much worse.
It's a lot better half the day.
Yeah, I got no desire.
This is an issue in Mount Everest, too.
No, yeah.
Because they have to leave their crap at the top. I mean, there's really no way of getting it down.
I mean, literally, if we have to leave the planet to, to recolonize, I got no desire. Just leave me here.
Yeah.
Like the Maldives, I'll do that. I'll take one for the team.
but the
Send
moon?
me there, but the moon, no thanks.
Thank you.
Brown, do you want to do your story
Sure.
first?
So
it's an update to yesterday?
Update to yesterday when we were talking about the wolf that they have
cloned.
Yeah, the dire wolf.
The dire wolf.
10,000 years extinct.
So the CEO of that company was on Rogan, and it dropped, I think, yesterday or the day before. I listened to the first hour, and it is fascinating what they're doing.
Yep, they want to bring back the woolly mammoth.
That's what I was about to say.
No,
they're working on the
no.
woolly mammoth. Now, I said the same thing you said, like, that's just going to screw things up. And
Well, they're always going to have an angle, and they're going to be like, it's good for...
Well, no, what he pointed out was the Asian elephant and the woolly mammoth, they share like 99.5% of DNA. So really, the woolly mammoth is still there. It just
Okay, but
doesn't
where do
look
we
the same.
stop?
Well, that is the question Rogan asked. He's like, y'all are playing God.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, you've got no right to play God. And they're like, well, aren't we playing God much in the same way people that hunted these things to extinction were playing God? And Rogan was like, yeah, but we got a problem with that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's right either. But I mean, it's I'm only an hour in, but it is fascinating. Google, so to this is what was fascinating.
But I guess, are we playing God with technology anyway, based on the fact that back in the day, if a guy had a ruptured appendix, they just died.
Yeah, they died. So Google woolly mice.
Oh, yeah, the woolly
Did
mammoth.
you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So in their effort to replicate the woolly mammoth, they change the DNA on mice to see if they could get the woolly mammoth coat, and they did it on mice.
Looks
already.
like Guy Fieri is a rat.
It does.
And he said, like, when they did that, they have been flooded with calls, people wanting to buy them, and they're like, we are not selling them. In fact, we don't even have the males and females caged
People are
together.
weirdo. People want to buy these mice.
They don't even have the male and female caged together, so that they will not reproduce. But yeah, woolly mice.
Yeah.
So he says that is actually the way the woolly mammoth looked.
I do think
so. The next time,
coat.
Tyler, you complain about something you have to do behind the big glass. Imagine having to go through all that hair to decide which one is male and female. That's somebody's
right.
job today, so they make sure they're separated into separate cages.
I do think
you're sitting
along
there
the
and
way.
go, okay, this one goes to the female
Yeah,
cage.
it's small, but
that
I
was
see
in the
it.
male cage.
Everybody believes that they are going to be the generation that actually the world ends on their watch. But I mean, some of the stuff going on is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Well, and then there's the fact that we survived my trash ending of the day, and that is the celebration in Gainesville after we win the championship in Florida the other night. I want to introduce you to, what's his name? Oh, his name is Stephen Buchanan. You just think he's just a really aggressive, excited Florida student, right? Nope, he's 28 years old, still living in a college town in Gainesville. He's out celebrating with the kids, and he decides to climb up on the old traffic light.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, spotlight's up there. Police see him. Here we go. Hey, get down, sir. Get down. Oh, I'm going to stand up here.
Oh, my
Well, he's not
gosh.
one of the Walendas. You know what's coming. Here he goes.
Hey,
He's
good reference there
bouncing.
with the Walinda, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I work hard at this job. He's
Bouncing.
bouncing. There he goes. I don't know how high that is. You got an estimation, LT?
15
that's-
feet? I mean,
I think it might be, 15 to 20.
Stoplight?
Different angle.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
now watch this. People are going to catch him, right?
Nope.
We're all going to get out of the way.
I'm not getting hurt for his.
Yep. Hospitalized. No details to his injuries. We do not think it's life-threatening, though.
Buddy, you fall 15 feet and land on an asphalt street. You're lucky to
I don't
live.
know if you guys saw Octavio Dotel, who was a really good closer.
I did see this story.
And then Tony Blanco, both guys died in a nightclub collapse
the roof
in
collapsed.
the Dominican Republic. The crazy thing is how many people were there. You know, Ron Slay was bitching about San Antonio on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
They get it going in the DR on a freaking Monday night.
How many were in there?
Oh, it was, officials said at least 124 were killed, 255 more injured. So,
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, you've got 400 roughly people that
In a
were
nightclub.
in that one area of the nightclub.
Yeah, you know, the building codes around the world not the same as in the great United States of America. Hopefully he's okay, and there's video of him climbing up the pole. There's video of him at every step of the process.
This
You
is
hope
why they
he's
do
not
grease the
seriously-
poles,
That's
like
right,
in
in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yep.
Yeah.
Just because people are idiots, and what are you going to do?
Our friends at Hemp Hill bring us our dash to the end here. We're dashing towards spring and summer. That air conditioning needs to be ready to go, LT.
Yeah, and right now, you guys said big number, and I do agree. $1,000 from our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Spring weather's here. They're offering that $1,000 off the new HVAC install plus 0% financing. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated, independent train dealer. They can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. Do it now. Call 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I don't think he's going to win, but Nick Saban has a chance to add to his trophy case. Nick Saban yesterday nominated for an Emmy. He's the finalist for an Emmy Award for his role on College Game Day. The category is Outstanding and Emerging On-Air Talent. So sports Emmys in the offering
I honestly,
for Nick Saban. I got the list of who he's up against.
I was going to say, because I would like to say who you would pick, because I saw the list.
I think he is very, very, very good at what he does, but I think he's even better in the Airbnb commercials.
Yeah, he's very good at those. You're right.
So Nick Saban's on the list. His competition, I will give you in reverse order on who's going to win it.
Okay.
Jay Wright's on the list. He will not win it.
I think Jay Wright's really, really good on that desk, though, don't you all?
He is good, but he's a little bland.
Okay.
Next up will be Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's really good on the NFL Prime pregame.
A little too much. He's a McAfee wannabe.
Yeah, he's more of a personality, but I do think he says some good things.
Next is Richard Sherman, same show on Prime. I think he does a really good job there.
I just don't watch that Prime show.
Saban's still winning this.
And then the winner of it all will be Jason Kelsey.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you get all these podcasts in, but Saban is better than Kelsey.
I think Saban wins the thing.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Jason Kelsey will win it.
Is that like a panel of media people that vote on that? Do you know? I know you've won an Emmy before.
I have won 2, and thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
And it is judged by your peers.
Should I call Carly and ask you?
Hey, when you actually won those, do you show up somewhere?
Yeah, there's the beautiful event in Atlanta back in the 90s. I don't know where they do it now. You get dressed up. I went to both of those.
Do you actually go up there and accept it and say something?
Oh, yeah, give a short speech.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the...
but, I mean, how boring is that for everybody else that has no idea who you are?
We were Birmingham. It's in Atlanta. You mean to tell me they didn't know who I was when I was up there?
I would say honestly, the majority of people there did not know who you were.
Well, there was free alcohol, LT. So I don't think anybody's complaining.
So they just run into the bar whenever anybody wins. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about anybody that wins an award there.
And you've only got 60 seconds to give a speech.
One year, the Alabama Broadcasters Association Talk Show of the Year, Tyler, we found out that Cumulus was not entering anyone, so we paid like $75 to enter, and we won it.
Yeah, tradition continues.
And they called us. They called us, and they're like, "Hey, you guys have won it." We're like, "When's the ceremony?" And it was the first weekend in the NCAA tournament. We're like, "Oh, we're not going to be there."
Yeah, we can't be there.
They're like, "Well, you won it." We're like, "We'll give it to somebody else. We ain't taking it."
They're like, nobody else submitted their $75.
I ain't missing the NCAA tournament.
To us.
Yes, send it to us.
Seriously, they would call me. I don't want to.
No, I don't.
They'd call us up and say, "Hey, we don't have anybody listed in this category."
So we win if we enter. Yeah, all right, we're in.
Okay, here's $75. Give us the trophy.
Yeah, we were like 8 years running. We won the thing.
Yeah, I thought I had a quick picture of me at the award.
I'm surprised it's not your favorite.
You got a quick picture of you at the after party?
Well, that's the only picture I had, to be honest with you. I was carrying my date into the hotel like we just got married. I was carrying her across the threshold.
Wow. Do you remember the date's name?
Sure.
Was she holding the Emmy?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Rebel Fox?
No. That's going to do the show. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
wow. We're back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time.
What'd that cost you?
Did you last 5 or 10 minutes?
Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.